The brothers can join us here, man. People love DJT, people love MIT, and we love you guys. So thank you for joining us. That's great.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
All right, so pretty much what we're going to be getting down to, the skinny, is ultimately MK12. Mortal Kombat 12 is obviously the game that Ed Boon is hinting at. It doesn't seem like it's an Injustice game or anything like that. It seems like it's Mortal Kombat. So we're going to be covering what we want, what we don't want, what we want to see, what we don't want to see, and ultimately see, where our minds take us on this journey. Denzel, DJT, what's one thing from MK11 that you like and that you would like to see in MK12?
For me personally, I really love the flawless block.
Yeah, yeah.
I love, I would, when the game first came out, I tried to perfect the hell out of flawless blocking, and I liked flawless blocking for the most part. The only thing I didn't like is you could use it off of hit, you get hit by something, you could just flawless block. That's the only thing I really didn't like. But I like flawless blocking, for projectiles and stuff, and even for with punishing somebody, if they're just throwing out strings at the wrong time, it's all right, flawless block time. You messed up, I love it. It's I would just flawless block everything, jump in, projectile. I just love flawless block, and it sounds sick too, and it looks cool when somebody can do it multiple times, and or if it's kind of a back and forth type thing too, where it's flawless block. I love it. If the next game has it, I would like them to have it, but I don't know if they could tweak it in a way where it's not used in a way that it was used altogether, but more for the projectiles, and more for if somebody's whiffing or off jump ins and stuff like that, like that, but not something where it's okay, I can just use it whenever I get hit or anything, and then it's just to me, then it turns into, it's not a more of a technical mechanic that I was planning on it to be, more of a technical mechanic. Instead it seemed you can kind of just get it down so easily because there's so many ways to use it.
Yeah.
So that's what I want the most. If they do come back with the MK11 mechanic, that would be the biggest thing that I'd want. And you know what? I do like wake up rolls and stuff too, and not with the regenerating meter, but I think it would be cool to have that back. But the resources are not regenerating and stuff like that. I think wake up roll wouldn't be bad. And as far as MK11 movement, I wanted to be nothing but Fujin or Rain or any character like that. That's the type of movement I'm looking for. I want it fast. I want fast.
Yeah.
Or not just offense, but defensively also, being able to move quickly, whether it be backwards or forward. So it's a fast-paced game. So it's not just, I wanted to be fast, so all the offensive characters can just get in easily. But no, I wanted where it's fast, where even defensive characters you have to have good movement to catch somebody that can move well on the defensive side also, not just I'm good at moving offensively. No, I need it all around. So it'll be more creative, and the neutral would be even better because you can move but also stop and move, and you just see that the difference between a really good player and somebody that's kind of because you just look at the movement and it's okay, that movement, this player is crazy. And then you look at someone else moving, it's buddy's kind of sus. I don't know, he might not be that great, but he needs to work on a little of that movement.
Don't give me that.
Yeah,
You've
and
been
something I'm getting even from the last podcast, and this one is all of us kind of agree that we don't want regenerative meter to come back. just because it felt godlike how we used our resources and gained our meter ourselves. And movement, we talked about it last podcast and this podcast. There's one thing that keeps coming up: movement. I feel like whatever game comes out next, those two things, if it has really, both of those are really good, the movement especially, we're going to be super happy. And if it's not, like if we first get our hands on the game and the movement is just not crispy, our hearts are going to kind of break a little bit. We'll still have faith in the game. We're going to try everything out, right? But I know all of us are going to try that movement out first. And I really hope NRS does understand. I don't know if they do hear it a lot, but I hope they do hear it somehow that, okay, our players, one thing that always comes up is movement. And I don't know if I see a lot of players tweeting about that, like that's what they want to see in the next game. But I hope NRS does get that. That's something that we do want is movement, to feel like we can just glide and control our character fully.
I think that's really important because it lets you display who you are, as like you get to vicariously live through the character as yourself in a way. It's a form of expression. You get to express who you are just through the movement alone, and I think that's crucially important when it comes to designing a fighting game in general.
If Malik and Denzel can choose what game would come out next, what would be the game? Would it be MK? Would it be Marvel versus DC? Like, what would they want to see
MK
come
instantly.
out?
No questions.
I like
no hesitation.
DJT, you said Marvel vs. DC?
Oh no, I need that Mortal Kombat baby all day.
Shit, what about you, Malik?
I would say MK, but if I had to choose another game, like something different, Marvel vs. DC would be interesting, but if they did a Marvel versus DC game, I think it should be tag team based. I think that'd be more hype in my opinion. There'd be a lot of characters in the game, so if they did something like that, got to make it tag team in my opinion.
Yeah, especially tag team.
Actually, I'm faster LP.
That shit need to be fast as fuck. None of that slow shit should be crazy.
Yeah, Marvel vs. DC, like you would expect it. Like they already did Injustice 1 and 2. And if they were to do like a Marvel vs. DC, like I would expect it to be tag. Mm-hmm. Like especially with the game like Marvel. Like if you think of Marvel, you think of tag. So
exactly.
Yeah, it would be disappointing if they didn't have it. Wow, nice freaking challenge there, Denzel. God, this was a hype match. Can we talk? This was a hype match. Jeez, we were all on the edge, man. Hearts were racing. Or like Rio was like the villain, but he's really a nice guy. But it's still like, damn, dude. Oh shit! Don't worry, you're up next, Malik. All right, I'm gonna jump onto this one. So we got that MK11. What about from MKX? Same question. What's one thing? And real quick too, before we do go on that, I am a huge fan of Flawless Block, and I don't mean like Flawless Block up 2, up 3, whatever. Just Flawless Block in general to avoid from dying or to maybe change frame advantage. I think last podcast Michaelangelo said something pretty interesting. He said like he said something similar to like having a not a parry but like a Flawless Block, like if you do like a what was the Street Fighter move you said it was?
So I would like if they had like an animation, because like the Flawless Block idea is cool. Like Denzel saying, I would love some type of advanced mechanic that separates like the novice players from where like in Street Fighter Third Strike, all the casuals, they overlook the parry system, right? But when you love the game deep into it, that's a whole new a mechanic you're gonna study hours a day, just because it opens up the door for so much, because you got to know all characters like moves to parry. So when I seen Flawless Block in MK12, I was thinking like, dude, this is gonna be sick because it's kind of like the parry system. But I would love if they had some type of animation for it, not just it's just block, but you have a little bit of frame, like less frames of block done or whatever. It's like I wish they would have put a little more into it. But I know what Denzel means by like something like flawless block, where it's like I always love an advanced mechanic in the game that like maybe casuals would overlook, but we dig deep into it, and it just opens another layer to the game. You know, like movement in MK9. No casual was moving really; they were just playing the game, doing special moves, whatever.
Yeah.
But we dug deep into dashing and how far you can dash until you could block, and man, when you've seen the high level players playing MK9, it's like you guys are saying, if you're in full control of your characters, and like Denzel said, with Fujin and Rain, like there's some cool characters that can like wave dash and you know have that movement in MK11, but it'd be great to have that throughout the whole cast.
Yeah, exactly. And you were saying exactly that last week, and it gave me an idea. Like if you do like a flawless block, you actually said it. They have to make a read that if you're gonna do like, because once you do the flawless block, you gain access to like, not necessarily like an install, but you gain access to do like a counter on them. So now they have to make a read like, should I continue or do I have to? I mean, that does seem kind of annoying, but like if you do that and then it becomes like a super baiting, since you're just like an MKX, you would bait armor, you know, or whatever the case may be, and you'd have counters to bait armor that would option select the armor with maybe your armor or a move that avoids the armor. I mean, all these things, they come into mind into play, are very healthy for a fighting game, because the more options, the more meta, the more fun, the more challenging it is, and who doesn't like a challenge?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's go with so Malik did the first one. Denzel, MKX, same question. What's one thing from MKX that you would like to see return for MK12? Which obviously, just for people who don't know, it seems like it's MK12. Ed Boon's tweets, it all leads to something Mortal Kombat-ish. Nothing superhero-ish or anything, you know what I mean? Nothing Injustice-y or Marvel-ish. So MKX, one thing you would like to see in MKX to come into MK12. One thing from X.
So things I'd like to see back from MKX. I don't mind the run system personally. I think especially with not just MKX, with UMK3, MK Trilogy, I think the run system helps like it gives a mechanic that was pretty much unique to Mortal Kombat. Games have like, you know, characters that have like, you know, moves where they might run in the move, maybe it's a cancel, but like this is straight run mechanic. It's quite unique, I think. So I think that's fine to bring that back. I think a lot of people gave the run a bad rep because, you know, people will run up and do, you know, overhead low on MKX. But that's not really the run mechanics. So that's just, you know, the normals they use after they do the run. I think the run itself is just fine. So I wouldn't mind that coming back. And I like cancel pressure and stuff like that. Characters, I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, plus 30 or plus 20 or whatever, but I think cancels are a really cool thing to have in fighting games, and like making the pressure more unique and more varied, more layers to it. So I think bringing some of the cancels back to MKX, I wouldn't mind that as well. It's just how they balance it and make it more creative, not just like, you know, you do the same cancel and it's like, oh, plus whatever, and you just can't move, stuff like that. But other than that, I think the cancels and the run button, I wouldn't mind them bringing that back. I think I only like variations because it kind of just boils down to, you know, oh, this character has this variation. That's probably the best. That's probably what people are going to flock towards, but it's better when it's just one complete characters and they just have a full moveset. I would prefer that. That's all I was saying about it.
Yeah, 100%. And dude, you just brought up variations. Get rid of it, NRS. Get rid of variations, please. Woo! Get it out of here. We want full characters again, 2023.
Yes.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh, we talking MKX?
Yeah. What you? Yeah,
He came back.
Back
He's back, Mike.
Bro, for MKX, like, I know people didn't like the armored launchers and stuff, but I need them back because
I need them.
Bring them back. But
I agree.
Instead of unbalanced armored launchers, there have to be a balance. So if it launches for a combo, then it needs to be like negative 20 plus, you know what I'm saying? But if it's armor that only does like 8% or something, then you can make something like that safe because you don't get a combo. You just get like, okay, some defensive you can use or even offensive just to get some damage. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how the player wants to use it, like actually balancing armor, instead of just, okay, all the armor could be like this, and this character can not only have a launcher that's safe, but it's a combo. And like we don't want it like that. Like I want armor, but depending on what the reward you get is how much. If you screw up, that's the risk you're taking. Also, it's not like, okay, I can just throw it out for free, where it's like some random like psychopath. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna go psycho, it's high risk, but if you mess up, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get killed for it. You know what I'm saying? As far as armor launchers, I actually really did like run also too.
Yeah.
I know some people say they didn't like the run because, oh, you could just run in and do whatever. But, at the highest level, you can't just run in. You have to bait somebody to do something with your run. You don't just run in full screen, do whatever. Because if somebody's smart, it's going to smack you with a string. Like, okay, that was easy.
Yeah.
But if they're smart, you know what I'm saying, run is actually a very technical neutral tool, you know what I'm saying, when it gets to that high level. It's not just something you can use and just, okay, I'm just gonna run full screen, do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Like I like run, but if they don't have run again, as long as the movement is good, you know what I'm saying, I'll take that. But I did like run, and I honestly like cancel pressure too, because cancel pressure looked cool. Like for
Looks so
Scorpion,
cool.
it was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was cool. I mean, even with Liu Kang is cool, but it can't get overbearing. So there's a way they got to make sure that they balance that a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cool, but it's like, okay, you gotta be careful because it could easily turn into something monsters. So yeah, there's that, and then also I really like the just the creative combo ability from Mortal Kombat X. Also was insane. Like people are still finding like crazy like combo routes. So just having that creative combo routes, I like it.
Let's do it one more time.
Let's not. Type of chip too. I know some people don't like chip, but I love Mortal Kombat with heavy chip because then you don't necessarily have to have like a lot of like overhead low and stuff, because like if you're just sitting there and blocking and you don't know when to poke out, like, okay, you just ate 6% chip, now you just ate another like 5% chip because you're just sitting there blocking. You can't block forever because you're getting chipped down, and you have to really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? I really like that high chip type of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I know there's people that don't like that style of Mortal Kombat, but I love it because then it's just all about like the pressure and stuff like that. And you can still have like overheads and lows and stuff, but I'd rather them not have like a launching ability. I'd rather it be more of a like, okay, I can keep smacking you with this overhead that does like 8% or something, you know what I'm saying? And it could annoy you, and it could be used as like a conditioning tool then rather than it be, okay, I'm about to launch you for a 30, 40 burger off of overhead low, stuff like that. Like I don't want that to come back from MKX, but if they're gonna have an MKX like type mix, I'd rather it be you can't launch off of the mix. More of you can be conditioned by like, okay, I keep getting smacked by the low a lot, like now I want to block high type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like more of a condition. Don't just like get rid of the mix altogether, but I'd rather it be used more of a, I guess, a conditioning tool. But I mean, if it does launch or stuff like that, like it has to have that high risk high reward type stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I agree. And Michael said something about that last week, Mike. You when Denzel said
Yeah.
damn, he just said it. Oh fuck, did you catch it, Mike? He just said
About conditioning.
fuck, I had it in my head. I'm just an idiot. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Go ahead.
You got it.
Fuck.
So what I was thinking now that we're on MK and stuff, what characters do you want to see return?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, give us 5 characters. Give us like 5, like, because Michael said something last week that really made sense. Because he was like, if we were gonna talk about what characters, he was like, we'll have a 50 character roster, and he was like, we got to be a little realistic here. I was like, yeah, that's true, huh? Like, if it were up to us, we'd have 50 fucking characters.
Yeah, but how about we make it interesting where the characters that Denzel picks, Malik can't pick any of those characters.
Ooh,
like he has
like
to
that.
pick like, yeah. So then we get like 10 characters, from Malik and Denzel.
I like that. Okay, Malik.
What's that? Characters?
5 characters that you would like to see return in MK12.
Well, I'd like to see some characters that haven't made appearances for a while, or just you just don't see them that much. Or that I just think are cool characters. I think I'll start with. I think Shimmer should come back. Shimmer, I think, was probably, in my opinion, I think Shimmer was the best DLC in NPX and maybe the most creative and cool DLC that the NIS games are producing, MK9 up to MK11. I think Shimmer would be a very interesting character, especially they gave him like a full moveset with all variations. They did something like that.
Yeah.
I think Shimmer would be a sick character. So I think they should bring Shimmer back in.
He was
I think he'd be really hype.
He was ridiculous in MKX. Denzel
Dude, he was
was
such a hype.
destroying everybody with the character.
People love Shimmer. He was such a hype character. I think everybody wants Havoc back. I mean, people keep asking him every game. They haven't brought him back yet. Havoc would be a sick ass character. Just fucking imagine it's the sound effects and the bones punching and the cracking and shit and just all that. With his moveset would probably be super like unorthodox and just crazy. He probably have a crazy ass play style. I think he'd be a pretty interesting character. So I think Havoc should definitely make a comeback.
I agree. It would be a nightmare. It would be a nightmare to have.
Yep.
Like you said, unorthodox. That just fits him so perfectly. Like, no one likes fighting unorthodox characters. Like, no one does.
Exactly. He'd probably be a very like tricky character. He has some weird moves. I think he'd be sick. After him, I think. I think it'd also be cool to see. You know what? I think they should bring either. I'm not gonna say.
He's gonna say Darius, Mike. He's gonna say Darius.
Darius. Now, honestly, if they could do Motaro, but the horse Motaro, so that 2-leg, that shit is talking about the MK3 Motaro fucking making the horse sounds and shit, shooting the fireball and lunging across the screen. That shit would be hype. So I think Motaro should make a comeback.
That's what Mike said last week.
He'd be a sick character. After him, I would say maybe who was I thinking of? Maybe bring back. No, honestly, who was it? Osher. Yeah, Osher was this. I just like Osher's design as a character. Did a pretty interesting moveset too, but I think Osher, especially with the nowadays like graphics and what they can do with her moveset, they probably do a lot more. I think Osher should definitely make a comeback. I think she'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And last one.
Hell yeah. I like Astra. Before you finish, Mike,
yes.
I didn't find out till last week because I mean obviously I played the whole Deception, Armageddon, and games back then. But I never knew that Astra had like a voodoo doll, and because I never played her. You know what I mean? So when you guys said that last week, I was like, dude, we have to have her in a fucking voodoo doll. Like, And I seen it was her fatality. Is any of it her special moves, the voodoo doll, or is it just the fatality?
I don't.
Oh, think it's just
Yeah,
the fatality.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine if it's a fucking special move and it's like a move you have to block from anywhere on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh my
That'd
god.
be pretty crazy.
Damn.
That'd be
That would
scary.
be fucking scary, dude. Oh shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to say something about that. I did not mean to cut you off for your fifth character.
No, you good, you good. And last,
Choose wisely.
choose wise. You know, I'm gonna give two, but I'm gonna give two different reasons for these two.
If you have like a character you're kind of debating on, like if you have two,
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
give like
cool.
an honorable mention. I'm gonna give like an honorable.
There you
mention.
go, honorable
No.
mention. There you go.
So I think Hotaru, his moveset wasn't that crazy in the 3D MKs. Like it was pretty basic. He had like his ground fireball and stuff. I like how the character was designed. I think if they like revamp his movesets with the fireballs and like some of his moves, I think Hotaru would be a pretty sick character. I mean, if you have Havoc from the Chaos Man, I think you gotta have Hotaru from the old man. I think it would make sense.
Yeah.
I think him making the comeback would be pretty legit. And I think honorable mention to I think Kai gets a bad rep from MK4 because I think he's just like a Liu Kang knockoff. But I think they can make him a lot more interesting as a character if they revamped him and changed the moveset up. I think he could be a pretty sick character. So I think Kai
I'm
should
liking
get some
this. I'm liking this. I'm loving the Kai. I'm loving the Kai love past 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
Fucking stole one of mine already. Fucking Kai. I was gonna say that shit.
Oh,
You stole. How you gonna steal your own brother's character that he wanted to put up, Malik? Come on.
I mean, that's just. I think I know some of the characters Denzel will pick anyway. So I mean, some other ones I thought you would maybe not. Yeah, Hotaru did have the flags.
Well, what do you think about those characters, Mike?
All solid picks. Like obviously Motaro, I was saying, because I would love some type of awkward character that I'm like, how would they put that character in the game again? Yeah, and obviously Motaro, big dude, 4 legs, 2 arms, and imagine his strings even. Like if he's an actual playable character and you're doing like 1-1-2, and what would he do? Would he like hit you with one hand and then get up on his hooves and like kick you, or like, it's just so curious. But the great thing about NRS, we always say, how can they put this character in the game? And then when they do it, we're like, wow, like they pulled it off, So I always have my faith and trust in NRS for, the character. They could put some weird character in it, like Godzilla, and make him like as big as he is in the movies, and the fucking MK characters are fighting them and they're hella small, and we'd be like, how can they do that? They can't do that, and they would do it, So I would be hyped for that. Even Kai, I always felt like Kai never got justice in like MK. Like he's always seemed basic, and I would love to see like a new version that has like some sick moves and powers and everything, But yeah, all solid picks, very solid.
All right, Denzel, you are up. And if you want to say Kai, that's cool too, because it was an honorable mention. And I'm a huge fan. Just like I said last week, MK4 is my favorite Mortal Kombat of all time.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah, it's my favorite of all time. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Denzel.
Because they can do so much with that character, because he has all these fireball shit, but he also just has a cool name, like God. Like the commentator they choose, like it'll just sound cool after he wins. Like God wins. It's like, bro, that's sick, bro. That's fucking sick. Yeah, Kai. I don't know. Did anybody say Movado yet already?
No.
Because Movado is also a cool ass name. Like Movado. Like,
I agree.
damn. Playing that motherfucker, Movado. He had all those like stretching shit. You know what I'm saying? So he could have like the nooch. You know what I'm saying? In this game, you know what I'm saying? I can see Michaelangelo playing Movado. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see him cosplaying Movado. Honestly, like.
Yeah, with the jacket.
Doing that for sure. Like the trench coat and all. Like, bro, I can see it. Like, I can see it for
Yeah.
sure. I can see it. Definitely. Movado. After Movado, you know what I'm saying? I had to go with Drummond. You know what I'm saying?
What the?
Yeah, Deadly
He'll be
Alliance
mumming the
characters.
shit out of people, but he's also like a NetherRealm, like ninja looking ass. They could do something with that because he's got like flies and shit. Oh man, he's just like a dead body, but he'll mop your shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Drummond might be sick to have. After Drummond, I want to say I want Reiko because who doesn't want Reiko? And he needs to have the darts. Okay, the darts. Where he's throwing them like crazy, like he did in like MK4 type style, where you can just and throw hella darts. I thought that was so cool. And when I used to play MK4, and he had all the darts and stuff that he could throw, the stars and stuff, that was so cool.
He had the fatality. He threw like a million ninja stars at you,
Yeah,
and the final one went between your eyes.
Give me ninja Ray, like the ninja style Reiko, where he has like the ninja suit. I don't want that like general looking. Nah, I need the ninja Reiko. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he had a teleport too. He was pretty cool. He had a teleport, but there's so many teleporting characters. But yeah, he had teleport too. So yeah, I would like Reiko to come back for sure. You know what I'm saying? And who else? That's how many characters is that? That's 3, right?
Yeah.
3 characters. Okay. After that, let's see. There's so many cool characters. Think about this. Who else could come back?
That's 3.
You know,
That's 3.
Yeah. Let's bring back what's that lady's name? Let's bring back Serena. What's good? Let's bring
I like
her
Serena.
back. Yeah, like she's she's like a NetherRealm type ninja, you know what I'm saying? So I think they could do something with her, definitely. Like, cause they have so much room to like revamp characters and stuff and do new stuff. I think Serena, she could be a cool new. She's not new, but like new as in she hasn't been in a lot of titles, so they could do a lot with her. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I agree. And we all know that Rio would be really happy to see Serena. He's a Serena fan,
Yeah.
right, Rio?
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember you were saying that last week, and I was like, oh, yeah, he is a huge fan. I remember he would always talk about her in the podcast when he would have his podcasts. And that's like his favorite character, right? Is Serena?
I think so. One of.
And
Yeah, one of them. So.
And she's like a ninja, like for Quan Chi, right? Like she's like with the Brotherhood of Shadow, isn't she? Isn't that her? No, wait. That was Astra. Astra was with the Brotherhood of Shadow. I'm tripping. My bad. I'm tripping. Let me just stop talking.
and last, let me get let this last one be because there's so many that I could think about, but honestly, for this last one, I would want them to do like Ferrator or even bringing back like Noob and Smoke together, like some type of tag character, like where you can switch in between, you know what I'm saying? Like a 2-style type character where they can switch in between. That'd just be cool if they could bring back a character like that. Like, what if they not Ferrator, just Ferrator, but what if you could actually use Farah too, like kind of switch in with Farah? Like, I feel like that'd be sick if they could switch like a character like that where you can use like 2 styles with the character, but they're one character, You know what I'm saying? But it's two styles. Like I feel like that'd be cool if they, and even if they came out with a new character that was like two styles or whatever, I feel like that'd be kind of cool because there's not a lot of characters like that. I feel like that'd be cool and technical if they do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree. Like Dad can tell you, last week, I was saying like with Draman, he could like in Deadly Alliance, he had the stance switch where he had his mask on and he'd fight like more martial arts style, like more focused. And then when he took it off, he was more like beastly, like crazy awkward moves. So that would be cool to have like at least one stance switch character. And then like you're saying with Noob Smoke, he was a great deception character. And if they did that again, like even like you said, Ferritor, I felt like in MKX they didn't get enough justice, as in you just threw her really. But
Yeah.
it'd be cool. Like what if you threw her and you sandwich your opponent, and you could switch between where you're like poking with Farah and like using her more on the screen and choosing where you want her to be, and maybe you're getting comboed and then she pokes the opponent and it's like a combo breaker. It's like something crazy, different awkward things like that would be great to see in the next game, where it's like, whoa, okay, they all play completely different, where it feels like each character is bringing a new mechanic to the game. And I do hope to see that as well more.
Yeah. 100%. I would. God, it would be. I'm ready to see something out of the ordinary, but also something that's NRS ish. So something along that lines what you guys were talking about. I want to see something like that, where we know it's like MK, but it's also unorthodox, like not ordinary, but it also is ordinary because it's MK. God, I'm putting my own head into a bind right now just thinking about this shit. Holy. Damn. If it was up to me, I'm going to go with one character. I would say Gearus. Gearus would be my favorite character to return.
You're
He's just
sick as fuck.
yeah, he's a badass fucking character. And I hope he makes it back. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's a sand guy, right? Through the sands of time. And he's been like around for like years and years and years, and like Michael said, as we all know, at the end last week, at the end of the story mode, spoilers alert, 1 2 3, Liu Kang goes back in time to see the great Kung Lao. So I could definitely see Gearus like making a return if they're in that type of timeline, where it's back in the past.
Yeah. And would you guys like to see that? Like, I don't know if you guys played the Aftermath story, but Liu Kang in the end goes back in time and he's basically Raiden. And he finally talks to the great Kung Lao, which we always wanted to see the great Kung Lao in the game. And I always like prequels, and I would even love to see them go back in time, even before MK1. So if they do go back in time, do you guys want to see them go back in time again, or do you want to see them go forward, like after MK11? Like, what would you guys like to see?
I think for the story, I didn't finish the full MK11 story. I know it got pretty crazy from what I did know of it. I don't think I mind if they like reset the story or like go in a time period before MK11. It doesn't necessarily be like the MK3 or MK2 type story. It could be a little bit after that. I wouldn't mind that. So it's like maybe somewhere in between like MK3 to like the 3D MK, somewhere like maybe like MK3, MK6, somewhere in between. I think I would be okay with that being the timeline for the story. So yeah, I think doing that I would probably prefer, at least for story purposes.
Oh shit. Sorry about that, folks. I had to go be a father for a second. Yeah, daddy duties. Very fun. I was in a frame trap with the kids, and I had to get out the block pressure and armor out that son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying, man?
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
So we were on about the MK story. I don't think we got Denzel's take though, like what he would want to see.
Oh, for me, if they did a story, I really like for any game that has like a story, if you can kind of choose, like, if they give you an option to kind of choose what happens in the story, like, okay, like Kotal Khan is fighting Liu Kang or something, it's like, okay. But like, say for example, Kotal Khan gets Liu Kang in a certain situation, it's like, all right, do you want him to die, or it's like, do you want him to be saved type situation, or it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if they did something where you can kind of choose how the story goes, so there's like different endings and stuff like that? That'd probably take a lot of work, but I think that'd be really cool if they did that for a story. I like those types of games where they let you choose how the story can go, and there's like a multiple ways it can end, and multiple like arcs the characters can take based on like the decisions you make for the characters. I think that'd be really cool if they were able to do that instead of it just being a straight up story. But if you can like kind of interact with the story and you can kind of choose how it goes, like, oh, I wanted to end like this, like, okay, I want it to be like this, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think I'm a huge fan of story modes. When it comes to like games, like not even just fighting games, like Call of Duty, etc. I am always invested into, especially games that have huge multiplayer like platforms, modes. I always have to I have to finish the story first, or I feel like I'm gonna get spoiled, or not really just getting spoiled. I actually enjoy story modes. I love story, so yeah, I have to do it first. I have to always finish the story mode first. So I love. And I feel like too, especially being a competitor. I see. I know you're feeling what I'm feeling, Dinosaur Man. I especially like being a competitor and like and traveling and shit. I feel like, damn, these other people are gonna have a heads up on me because I'm watching the story mode. And these fools are gonna have meterless vortexes, and I'm gonna have to play them in the first round of pools. But fuck it, I don't care. It's worth it. Love the stories.
So I would like to ask, actually, going back to characters, what about guest characters? Is it yes, no, and who would you guys like to see?
Yeah, give us some guest characters. What we do last week? Did we do five? Did we do 5 with them too? Like 5 guest characters we do, or did we just say or a guest character? Whatever. Let's go with the flow. Who cares? Malik, Denzel, rock paper scissors. Who's going? Nah. Somebody's going, man.
I'll just go first. I'll go first.
That's why I love you, Shikamaru.
Guest characters? Guest characters.
Ooh.
They bought some pretty cool ones already, like Alien. Predator, I thought was one of the most cool guest characters.
Hell yes. Predator was ridiculously ridiculous.
Guest character.
He's stumped.
I'm thinking. You know, they should bring a possibly one from another fighting game. I'm trying to think of which one. You know what? I think they could have do Street Fighter characters because of fatalities and stuff. But
yeah,
maybe a Killer Instinct character, like. Trying to think which one would be pretty sick.
Yeah, Killer Instinct. We were talking about that last week. I think it serves purpose. I feel like Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, they're like long lost brothers. They're literally the same. They're not the same, but they're related in a way, if that makes sense. Like, if it wasn't for like copyrights, like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You know. Long lost brothers.
I think Jago or maybe Cinder from Killer Instinct. I think they'd be pretty sick characters. Guest characters from Mortal Kombat. I would say one of those two. I think they would fit the theme of Mortal Kombat, and they'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Now for a guest character, maybe outside of like a fighting game.
Yeah,
they could bring. They could bring in what was I thinking? Maybe they bring in like, for example, they could bring in like maybe Blade if they could make that happen. That'd be
Bro,
a pretty sick.
I love you so much, Malik. I love you, man.
I think he'd be an interesting character. I think Blade would be a pretty cool guest character from outside of fighting games. I think he'd be pretty sick if they could bring him in.
Bro, it's perfect. And I said last week, I was like, dude, it has to be Wesley Snipes' Blade. It has to be.
Has to be, of course.
Bro, like, let's get this man his money back. Let's hook up Blade. Wesley, if it wasn't for Wesley Snipes, we wouldn't have the MCU.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest here. Fucking Blade, bro. He is the savior of MCU, bro. He is.
I can hear Jimmy. No, I can hear Jimmy.
I know that's why I loved you, bro. I knew that's why you're my bro. All right, what's that? What's that? 3? 3 from Malik?
That's 2 killer instinct characters and Blade.
Is it with the casino?
Now remember, if you need like some time, we can always go over to Denzel. You know, if you wanted to.
Yeah, come back to me. Come back.
Yeah.
See more.
You have anything on your mind, Denzel, when it comes to guest characters that you would like to see?
Let's go with
transition, you know.
let's get that Pennywise going.
Ooh.
Let's get that Pennywise. I could see him doing some crazy mix, you know what I'm saying? Set up characters, teleports with his coming out the alleys.
Dude.
In the gutter.
Yeah.
Red balloon setups.
Yes, let's go with Shaggy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
Bro, we're taking Denzel out the chat right now. We're kicking this
Let's
motherfucker
go,
right
Shaggy.
You are mine now. You belong to
With
me.
Movie as like some type of like tag character too.
Shaggy Goons. JT said Shaggy Goons.
Let's go.
Bro,
You know
get
what I'm
the fuck
saying?
out
And
of
then,
here.
Let's go. And then
He's dead serious right now. I feel
something
like
crazy. You know what? Let's go with Candyman. Yeah, I think Candyman would be kind of
I
sick.
love Candyman.
Yeah. And then his theme is hella sick too, so it's like it would fit in perfectly. Like
But the servers.
Candyman. Who else?
He said his fool says Shaggy. I love it.
Yeah, Shaggy would be lit though. Like,
entitled.
if we're going crazy,
Satana Road, rich
let's go
families,
with
and like the value of
two
our
more crazy characters.
Nah, bro, I don't like you. I don't like you right now. Oh, shit.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we kind of hear you in the
That's
background,
something
Mike. My
options,
bad.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Huh?
I feel like if we're gonna go crazy, let's bring back like I don't know if you ever watched that movie Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead.
But, yeah, I had that weird looking monster looking thing, but I think Pumpkinhead. They got to bring Pumpkinhead.
Oh my god. So you want you want Terradome? Terradome.
Yeah, you know what? No, what if they did a character? What was that one movie with the? It's like in the future, but it has all these like big giant bugs and shit. You know what? But they already have Devorah. Never mind. Scratch that.
Scratch
use
that.
Scratch
Scratch
You're
that.
talking about
Devorah
Starship
already
Troopers.
bugs, so you can't use any bug character because Devorah is in the damn game.
Yeah.
So no bugs. But Bugs Bunny? Let's
Okay,
go.
God.
kick him out. Get him the fuck out of here right now, man.
Merry Christmas.
Get him out of here.
And a Happy New Year.
Get Denzel out of here right now. I don't care.
No.
I don't care if he's my brother. Get him the fuck out.
What's
Is
up,
Daffy
Doc? The What's Up, Doc canceled.
Get this man out of here right now, brother.
At that point, you might as well just throw in fucking James Bond or some shit. Fucking.
Oh damn. So,
I don't.
Besides characters though, I'm also curious, what kind of fatals would you want to see? Like, obviously, fatalities are going to be in the game, but what other type of fatalities, like brutalities, friendships? What do you want to see? And if you could make a new one up, like just what do you want to see return? And any new type of abilities out there you're thinking of? Malik, I guess you could start.
I think I don't know why they haven't done this in a while, but animalities, I don't know where those have gone.
Yes.
They honestly could be a lot
Animality,
better nowadays. Get them back to animals up, but I think animalities definitely need to make a comeback, even if it's not the. Honestly, it's best if the characters like turn to animals. That's just hyper sufficient. Even they just summon a fucking animal from whatever realm. I don't care, but they need to bring some type of animalities back to these. Those have been gone for way too long. Don't know why, but the animalities need to make a comeback. I think.
Bro, animalities are fucking godlike, bro. I would
They're
definitely.
hella sick. Like fucking Scorpion turned to a big ass fucking scorpion and fucking stinging the fuck out of you and ripping you apart, or like Sub-Zero turns some fucking polar bear and shit. Like that shit ain't home.
Bro, dude, that was like one of the coolest things in fighting games or in video games, like the animality, bro. Like
that's so unique. You never had anything like an animality. That shit is super unique. So I don't know why they don't just bring those back.
You think they would bring it back? Do you think they would, or you would think they think it's too corny?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's likely they would bring it back, but I think if they wanted to do something creative or different, I mean, they brought brutalities back, friendship, all that stuff. But animalities, they just haven't brought back for some reason. So I'm like, I really think they should at least give it a shot and try it out. I think it could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you know what would be really sick with fatalities is I don't know if they would be able to do this, but if they have like, let's say they have fatalities for each character in the game, that just standard fatalities. And then what if you had the option to choose from all the classic fatalities they have for a character? I think that'd be pretty sick. I don't think they could do that, but they could be like, all right, Sub-Zero has like these 2 fatalities, but here's his like MK, 3 fatality, and here's like Scorpion's MK4 fatality. They could do something like that. That shit would be
Okay. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think for them to have that stuff come back would be cool. Oh yeah, Blizzard from Primal Rage, exactly. I think having those things come back are really cool. I was actually talking to one of my friends earlier, and he was talking about what was the hypest thing in MK9, and I was like, he's like, what's the hypest thing? Like when people seen it, like they're like, oh shit. And I was like, when you block a down 1 or down 3 and you punish them with the mid. he was like, no. He's like, what else? I was like, shit, the movement. And he was like, dude, babalities. He was like, cause you know why? They're so embarrassing. Cause once you got babality, you're like, fuck, that entire game, my opponent did not block, or that entire round, he did not block. So I was like, dude, you're so right. That is ridiculous. The babalities, getting babality. I think Kerbalicious was like the babality god. He would babality. He would babality Kenshi. Like what?
He babality Cabal, bro. Like, how do you even do that?
Right? How do you right? Fucking Cabal.
That shouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, for real though. I agree. Okay, so we have those 2 going on the way right now. That is, so that would be like, did you ever come to with your other 2 guest characters at all?
One of them was I was gonna say Hellraiser.
Okay, I like that.
That would be interesting. I think Hellraiser could be a pretty interesting character. I was thinking about, and If they added, what was that character I was thinking of? Honestly, they could maybe add from outside fighting. There's so many characters you can add, but maybe they add who's that character? Maybe a character like a. I don't know if they could get the rights to do these type of characters, but like if they could do a character, for example, like maybe like a Venom, for example, something like that. Maybe some hero character or like a super villain, if they could make it work, even if it's like from DC, if they can make that work, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just not sure which one exactly, but if they could have like a DC villain that's not Joker, maybe someone else, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yep, I agree. I think Venom would fit perfectly, or Carnage, Blade, of course.
Yeah.
Blade, of course. Just like Denzel said, Shaggy, let's get Shaggy, fuck it. Let's have him cross over again. Fucking Denzel. Get him out of here. Alright. So, I have this thing, I'm going to talk about MK12. Is there some kind of, what kind of mechanics do you want to see? Like, is there any kind of mechanics that you want to see? Like, for me, for example, or any changes or fixes in gameplay, like, for me, I guess since I can give you an example. Let me see right here. I'm just writing this down so I got my timestamps. MK12. Let me see mechanics. For me, I would say that what I would want is some kind of quality of life changes. So like for command grabs, I don't want to be fucking doing down back forward for a fucking command grab when characters like Kotal Khan and Collector, they're doing fucking down forward or down back. And I'm like, dude, like this is ridiculous that I gotta do down back forward, down back forward, down back forward, etc. And when these other characters got an easy way out. So I would like that to be a quality of life change. And also on top of that, to kind of feed on top of that, as an example to give to you, is like negative edge inputs. Michael actually brought it up last podcast, but it's actually been on my mind too, especially being a Superman player from Injustice. Negative edge, when you're holding down and then you want to advance and do a move, but then a special move comes out, so then you get fucked because you had an input error. So I hope they take out a way or find a way to make that happen for the next, MK12, which all roads lead to MK12 right now. So that's kind of like, to give you an example, that's what I want to see for sure. Okay, what about you? What do you think, Malik?
Let's see.
Like a quality of life change, something like that. And oh yeah, this is what I was gonna feed on. Speaking of the run mechanic, you and Denzel said you guys would like the run mechanic. So would you guys like the entire cast to have a run, or would you like maybe some characters, like MK11 Terminator had a run, or should there be like, or like, do you think it's possible to have a way where you have MK9, block dashing movement, but then you have another button to run, like?
That would be yeah, if they have run or dash blocking, like some of the characters did, and some characters in MK11 did like well, some are like really clunky like rockers, like no moving and all this clunky, like you're moving in a swamp. If they do either or of those, or if they do both, if they could do both, I think they could potentially do both, because there's like buttons, like for example, stance switch, which L2 doesn't really, for example, L2 it doesn't really have much of use. Like stance switch kind of just stance switch. You can have a use for that, for example, and use that for run too. But either way, I think if they do run or they do dash blocker, if they do both, however they decide to go about it, I think every character should be able to do it without a doubt. I think it's just like how Tekken does it. Like some characters, their weighted dash and whatever might be better than other characters that are moving, but every character is still capable, at least to my knowledge, for the most part, of actually moving like that. It helps separate, the higher level players and the ones that put more time in moving compared to like those who just they're kind of moving, but they're not really moving and grooving. I think it should be something every character is able to use. I think if they do it like that, so like MK9, everyone did block dash or dash block except for Reptile, but Reptile had his dash, like his actual dash move that he would use. But other than that, everyone was doing it, which I thought was pretty sick. Make everyone have a run meter like they did MKX or something linked to running. So I think everyone should go.
Yeah, I agree. I can see that actually being a thing, and them actually, making that happen for the next game. Adding some kind of mixture of that, of course. What do you think about the fall away? Do you like the fall away? Do you prefer the breakout? Do you want them to go for some kind of like maybe like a KI style like counter breaker thing, or what's your thoughts on that?
I think I prefer breakers the most. Like the fall away, there was ways to bait it out and stuff, like so it wouldn't. And they added some things later on, kill them, like punish them for doing it, etc., etc. But I like breakers because it kind of just pushes both the characters away, and it's like, you both break. Now that the breakers happen, you just reset the neutral. I mean, it'd be nice to have more ways to bait out the breaker, I guess, in some ways. I think that'd be they could maybe do stuff like that if they don't want it to just be a standard just breaker. I don't mind it just being a breaker when you just do it. It's like, all right, that just gets you out. Like you used your breaker, and either they tie meter to it, or like I think MK6 tied like some type of icon under the health bar too. So you have like a certain number of breakers. You can do maybe a number of breakers you can use, or link it to your meter. But if they make it like normal breakers, there's like anti-breaker combos or setups. That'd be pretty cool to have some of those with characters. I think breakers is probably better than fall away. I saw a lot of people did not like fall aways, and there was various reasons for that. But I think just standard breakers, I think I'm fine with. Like MK9 or MKX, I think breakers are fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's actually pretty. That would be good. We were actually talking about last week. What if there was like, cause I agree. I feel like the fall away, yeah, it's cool. It has armor on it, whatever the case may be. But you could bait it. There's armor breaks, whatever. Breakers seem the most plausible, or the most the most logical. Sorry, I don't know why I said plausible. Because you're spending 2 bars. With the breakaway, you're spending 2 bars and now you're dead. When you're spending a breakaway, when you're spending 2 bars on a breaker, you're set to neutral, not being fucked on the ground, right? So, I like the neutral being reset. I think maybe they could take a page out of Killer Instinct, where you can kind of bait, a break. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry about that, folks.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Yeah, I think it would be, maybe they could do something like that. I think, yeah, JT just said something like that. You could block in the middle of a string to cancel them. Yeah, that would be cool. And then you can bait it and punish it. And then when you do that, the opponent's like, okay, I think he's going to bait here. Let me just go into my pressure. And then boom, the turn's stolen. So yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting. I do like that. So I feel like MK12, since they changed so many things, I mean, I do want them to go back to some legacy stuff, at least get some of the cool shit from their some of the legacy games from MK. But of course they're going to change it up, and I think they should mix it up, make it interesting, to be honest.
I've been thinking about it, and I wanted to dive deep into some questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Malik and Denzel too, but I guess he's not here and stuff. But like I would think people listening, like knowing how much top 8s you guys got, Evo, and not even just that, dude. Thinking about like Summer Jam and just all the tournaments, you guys have to have like, just you, Malik, have to have like over 30, 40 top 8s, I would say, like with all tournaments together. Because like even more, I would think, just insane amount. And I think people listening would want to know, like if I was a new player and I'm listening and I'm like, whoa, these guys got how many top 8s and stuff in like first places? I would think like, what do you credit most to being as good as you were? You know, like what is your, I would say, what is your top 3 like biggest like things where you're like, dude, this is why I was as good as I am?
Top 3. I think. I think first thing, which I think is really big, and I hear a lot of people say this. They're like, "Oh, someone's someone's better than me, or like they got better results." Blah blah blah. They kind of get caught in that type of mindset, whatever. I think embracing the underdog mindset and being like, you know what, this person may or may not be favored against, or may be favored against me, or expected to beat me, but that doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, when you play someone, it's 0-0, and it doesn't matter what happened the past 5, 10 tournaments or whatever, past local. All that happens. All that matters is that moment. You have to embrace the moment of it. You're playing this person. All that matters is what you do in that exact moment. All the training you did, so you can actually beat this person. So I think first thing is don't be scared to play someone better than you, or be up to the challenge of playing someone who's better than you or has better results than you or whatever, because that's the only way you're going to get better. Because when I played, that's the best way, I think, and the quickest way to get better is playing people who are more skilled. You shouldn't be like, oh, I'm only going to play people around my level, because that's not really going to help you level up as fast compared to, okay, like when I got into MK9, we joined like me and Diz were playing online, and we joined like the crazy 88 clans, and like we started playing all those people,
man, the 88s.
Yeah, all the 88 people. It was like, when we started playing, like, it was like a reality check of, oh, we're good, but there's room to get better. So it was like, okay, we wanted to keep playing those people, because I knew if I keep playing those people, we knew if we kept playing those people, we would get to that level where we can actually be some of the best people. So I think playing people who are better than you. Even when we started off playing, before we went to our first tournament, Evo, we played Mike, and Mike was like fucking our shit up with Cabal and shit. The first vanilla patch in MK9, but like he told us, oh, go to Evo, check it out. So like playing people like that helped us like, get our foot into the door, and then that helps you just get a lot better as players. I think first, most important thing, you want to really level up, and what I want to credit to me being able to get all these top places and stuff, you got to play people better than you. Don't be scared of the challenge. You got to embrace being, I think that's important. Second thing, or another thing I would say is, I think the most important thing, a lot of people, they want to play kind of crazy. They want to do shit. That's fine. Some people play more fast-paced, some people play more sober. But I think patience it's too important to be patient. Just like wait things out. Kind of try to see what people do and adjust to what they're doing. So you start with like round start. A lot of times round start, I would just like, I won't even do anything. I'll just be like round start, just walk. I'll kind of see what they do, or like prepare for them to do X, Y, Z. I rather play like that, because it helps you, even if someone has you like outclassed or whatever, or they're just better than you. If you're patient, it helps you stay more into the fight. So even if you're losing, you're not losing like as much, and you're able to at least, you still give yourself a chance to mount the comeback, compared to if you just like go all in, throw all your marbles out, everything, and like it doesn't work, you just get your shit blown up, and like, I just lost hella quick, compared to, okay, I'm patient, I wasted things out, I kind of take what they give me. Now it's a more competitive fight, I might have a better chance of making that upset, because I'm not just throwing caution to the wind, just going after it. And one last thing I would say is that I think is important, honestly, is not just practicing, just like regular practice. Everyone practices like combo stuff like that, but understanding the situations, and this varies based on each game, like the situations you might get thrown into, but you got to understand the situations. Like the situational awareness has to be very high, as far as like, when this happens, what are my options, and what can I do to get out of this? What can I do to take advantage of this? How many times I'll be put in X, Y, Z situations, so I know, okay, I'm probably gonna run into this. Like, if I'm playing like a high mobility character, okay, they're probably gonna be moving all over the place. So, okay, what can I do? And always have like multiple plans. Like, okay, plan A for this, and then like there's a plan B and plan C if it's like really, it starts getting really crazy. Like when I coach people in fighting games, like I coach them like in matches, like tournaments, I'm like, okay, you start with this, but things might get to this point, so here's the plan B, and then like here's even a plan C where it's like, okay, if it gets to this point, this is like the extra, piece of knowledge or juice you might need to get the win. So situational awareness, I think, is extremely important. Those are probably at least 3 things I would say that helped me be really good at fighting.
Nice. Yeah, that's very good. And it's funny you mentioned the whole, I don't know if even Dab knows this little history of like, when I was doing my thing in tournaments and I met Malik and Denzel online, didn't know who they were, but for some reason when I think you guys an online MK, it was you guys were Sector. I remember a Sector player. Like that's something I remember. And it was funny because like Malik and Denzel questioned like, should we go to tournaments? And I'm like, yes, you guys should go. You guys are hella good. And I was talking about this today. Many people kind of psych themselves out. Like they think that, oh my God, Evo, like everyone's a killer. There's thousands of signups, and even like last place would destroy me. And we put in our mind like the expectation. Yeah. And then when we actually try, we realize, oh, it's not as bad as we thought. Like we're actually decent. And then the history of Denzel and Malik when they went to their tournaments, like they started destroying, and I'm like, hell yeah, we all fell in love with it. But that's something I think we all went through is like I wondered about Mortal Kombat, like, wow, I bet pro players are like killers, like this and that. I heard of Tom Brady and Rio before MK9 came out even. And I was like, oh, I would never beat them, and you just say all these things in your head, but really it's like, if you put in the work and practice, I go to these tournaments and I was like, damn, these people aren't as like good as I thought, or like I'm just at least on their level. Like I'm like, I thought they were going to be like robots, like there's no chance. But really, like if you put in that work and just put yourself out there, it's great, man. What you kind of like figure yourself out in a way, and I think that's awesome. So yeah,
I definitely agree with all those things you said. Those are spot on.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say we lost Denzel for the night.
It seems that way. It would have been cool to get Denzel's intake as well with like what he does. Even though, dude, I always think about this, and when I talk to people about this, I was like, hey, like when people talk to me about Yomi, they were like, dude, like you guys got so good, and I came to realize that like how important good training partners are, like people on your level, like because I always wondered when I was at Yomi, okay, how good are we? And when we went to our like first tournament as a team, and I'm just being real, like how easy it was because like when I was going to that tournament, I thought, oh man, like CD Junior is going to be there, or like this and that, and we didn't know how good we were. We knew how we were as a team, just training in that freaking hyperbolic time chamber in Atlanta. But I was like, how good is everyone else out there? And then when we go to these tournaments and I'm like, whoa, like they're not on Denzel and Malik's level. And that makes me good because I'm training with these guys. And I'm just like, I come to realize how important it is to have good training partners. And like, I always tell people, I'm like, dude, Denzel and Malik, they showed me, like, it's funny because it's like, they came to me and like, I played with them online, told them go to their first tournament. Like, you guys got this. I was like the mentor in a way, but then the tables turned and the students became the master. And I'm over here watching them and I'm just like, wow. Like, it was almost like, I felt like I was like Scottie Pippen and I was watching 2 Michael Jordans like in their prime, just like, I'm just happy to be on the same team as them. And that's that they're getting me good,
Yeah.
So it was just an awesome thing. And freaking, like I said in the beginning, knowing Denzel and Malik, and like, it was cool knowing them, but really getting to know them when we had to live together at Yomi. And like, I wish we took more videos of Yomi but if you can imagine, it was just like almost like an army base of video games, and like even where we slept, it was all bunk beds. Like the first couple of months, we eventually got a house, but we were actually living in the warehouse where the games were being played and trained every day. And this is the crazy thing. In that warehouse, there was no windows. This was legit hyperbolic time chamber because, dude, we'd play, it could be like 3 a.m. and we think it's 3 p.m. You know, like we didn't see light. We didn't see nighttime. We didn't see light until we stepped out of the warehouse. But we were mostly there 24/7, training for tournament. And we wake up at some weird hours because there's never light. There's nothing to kind of show us that, hey, it's daytime, it's turning dark, you guys should go to sleep. So there was like awkward, weird moments where we would step outside thinking it's daylight and it'd be nighttime, and we're like, wait, what's happening? But it was legit like a crazy training environment, and it got us all good and closer. Like I miss it so much because half of it was the great training and great, you know, just practice and like going to these tournaments on a bus and fighting. But the other half was the brotherhood. It felt like kind of like what is it in college, like a frat house kind of thing, you know, where like you guys get so, and like, dude, we ate together, like lived together. We'd be, like I said, in our room, it was bunk beds. We had like 10 bunk beds. We're all sleeping together. All I heard 24/7 in that place was fucking, if I'm not playing MKX, I'm just hearing about Mortal Kombat from Malik, Denzel, Slayer, King, just like, oh, do you know this is like 2 frames and like this and this? And I'm playing Quan Chi, but I would learn like the Tanya Tremor matchup because I keep hearing freaking Malik and Denzel going at it, talking about it. So I'm like, dude, we'd go to, you know, Denny's, we're talking about it. We'd go, so it just like, that mindset was just insane. It got us ready for tournaments and stuff. And I always think about it. And like, you know, Malik knows that like when we went to Vegas last year, 2022, dude, when we all met up and we haven't seen each other in like years, we were talking about it for a long time. Cherie would tell me, she's like, man, I could tell you guys like that was a moment in your guys' life that affected you so much and you love it so much. Because when I first seen Malik and Denzel and King was there, dude, us 4 in the hotel for hours, we're just talking about Yomi. And because it was like almost 2 years of our life. And like I always tell people, if you could imagine, this guy got the best players from like California, Nevada, you know, fucking Ohio, and put them in a warehouse for a year, like a year and a half, just played MKX. That was our job. He paid for everything.
Yeah.
And you freaking wake up to these guys every day, wake up like, and it was cool because we loved the same thing. Our hobbies were of same interest, Mortal Kombat. We want to be good competitors. Like, we got to go out, we were just talking about it, dude. We caused ruckuses and just everything about it. Like, I feel like one day we need to have a sit down and just talk about Yomi and like what it was and just everything about it. It was like, it was almost like the first team house in a way, before there was like what we know today as like phase house and clans and all that stuff. It really was something special. And yeah, I was there as an older player, and it was always such an honor to see like Denzel and Malik in their prime, and knowing like when we went to CEO and they got first and second, 2015 CEO, Denzel and Malik get first and second. I told him, I was like, dude, I think you guys might be better than Sonic Fox right now, just because I was like no one can train like these guys, and they had us. This is before MKX Online got good, so I was like, okay, how could Sonic Fox even like train as well as we are right now? We're covering all the matchups, we're giving them all the experience, and these guys don't sleep, so they're just training crazy, making us better, which makes them better. And we're going around, and it was almost like seeing the 2 brothers, Denzel and Malik, at the CEO when you guys were just playing each other, first and second place. It was just like, man, I get to see these kids in their prime, and I'll never forget that. And yeah, it was the power that they had, and everyone knows, like, dude, Evo medals, crazy amount of Evo medals. Like that's hard to get. People still talk about me getting an Evo medal in 2016. I have one. Denzel and Malik between each other, you guys have like 5 or something like that.
Yeah, they got a
No, I
lot.
have Denzel had. I have 3, and Denzel has a championship with 5 medals. Yeah.
Woo!
So you have 8.
Yeah,
You
we
guys
have
have
8
8
medals
together.
total, and we have 2 duels where we're both in the top 8. Which I don't think any other brothers have done that. I think there's another set of brothers that were both in the top 8 at the same time. We've been both in the top 8 at the same time, 2 separate apiece. I don't think that's ever happened. I'll have to fact check that.
And yeah, that's insane. And at Yomi, when I seen you guys train, it's like I realized how important it is to have like we noticed with even like the CD brothers and stuff. It's always good to have like a training partner that just like they push you. They're almost an opponent. They are an opponent, but they're like someone you want to get better, and they make you better, and you guys never quit. And it's amazing. It's amazing, and we learn a lot from it. So I'm always happy like talking to you guys, and I'm always appreciative. I'm like, damn, I wouldn't have been as good as I was if it wasn't for Denzel and Malik. Like crazy amounts of hours of training. Awesome.
These guys are nuts, dude. These two are fucking nuts. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have gotten to where I've gotten without Denzel and Malik on my team, bro. So
We appreciate it. And I was gonna say, yeah, Mike definitely had to shout out Mike for getting us, because we heard about Evo back when we played Street Fighter 4 back in 2010, but we didn't decide to go through. But when he like brought it up, like, yo, go to it, that's actually what got us into the fighting game scene, like actually going to tournaments and stuff. Because otherwise, we would have been online warriors or whatever. No, but he told us, oh, just go to it. We're like, all right, let's just give it a shot. So we went ahead, and the rest is history. And then I do also, of course, Dad, because he was because I remember our locals used to have a little more people. We started like, it was me, Denzel, Dad, and Flaw. We started like mopping everybody. So like, it was just us 4 against the world. Like we didn't have our big local scene and stuff. So it was like, fuck, it was just us, and we just grinded all the time. There was not one tournament where all 4 of us went to that at least one of us didn't make top 8. Major, local, regional, didn't matter. We always had at least one person from our group who made top 8. So we were as consistent as they could in the team.
yeah,
Squad.
yeah, 100%. Because I remember they stopped fucking the players. They stopped going because they couldn't beat us, like especially you guys. But eventually I got better, but they couldn't beat us, and it was just us 4. And eventually we just stopped kind of going because we were just like wasting our gas pretty much to get there. We were like, we should just meet up and play each other, because if it's just us 4, you know what I mean? So, and then we went on to start traveling to go play against SoCal EGP, and man, that was, dude, shout outs to Brian Compton, bro. I love that guy. Compton is
All the locals and shit. It was always sick.
Dude, Compton's everything, bro. I hope we get to see him back somehow when MK12 drops or something, because we all know that's what's coming out, man. All signs lead to that. I wanted to ask you guys, who would you guys say are the top 10 players right now for like MK11?
I mean, obviously, Sonic's always going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be in order. It doesn't have to be.
Just quickly, I could think of like Sonic, Ninja, freaking, jeez, what is it? Kombat's up there. Oh, Tweety, I think is gonna go. I have a prediction about Tweety. Like, you know how we always seen Tweety. Like, he's got his Evo top 8s and stuff. For some reason, I feel like Tweety is gonna go on this like crazy like new tear, because that guy never like stays the same. He's always improving at every game, and I played him in like different games too, like even UFC. And the way he just sees a game and breaks it down is insane. And I feel like Tweety isn't even in his prime yet. I think he's slowly like making his way to like a Sonic level where I already feel he's beaten Sonic. He's gotten his top 8s, but I think Tweety is going to be like a monster at some point of just like destruction, almost impossible to beat. He could possibly surpass like Sonic, not in every game. Like obviously Sonic does Dragon Ball Fighters, all that, but in terms of like owning, in terms of like owning a game, if Sonic, he'll be someone to really push Sonic, because like if Sonic's playing multiple games, which he told me he's gonna obviously play Project L and all that stuff. If Tweety just focuses MK, I see Tweety as like probably the player to beat. Like I don't see anyone beating Tweety.
I think
obviously
I think Tweety's definitely top 5 right now for sure. Like, yeah, 100%.
I hope to see Hayate back just because he's cool as fuck. He's always a top 8 player. So hope to see Hayate back. Yeah, then it gets mixed up from there just because I really want to see new players too. I want to see these people that are like, oh man, I just got into this game. Like, it's awesome. You know, those type of new players where it's like you have new Tweeties and new Dragons and kind of come up.
Yeah, I agree. You know, speaking of top players, I think we forgot Ninja Killer. For sure.
Yeah, I said, but yeah, I meant.
Oh, did you? Oh, my bad. I'll just shut. No. I'll just go ahead and just. You know what I'll do? I'm just gonna end it.
End what?
I just nuked the entire stream. We're all dead.
Okay.
Hey yo,
right.
what the fuck?
We're in another universe, and Liu Kang is. I'm just playing. I think that's. Dang, can you imagine a new Ninja Killer? I feel like I've seen a Ninja Killer already, like a young one that's playing MK11. I want to say I feel like I played one, and they're probably gonna be a beast next game, bro. Like, dude, Ninja Killer is ridiculous, dude. That kid's something else, man. He's ridiculous. That dude is crazy. He's like a crackhead. You ever seen, like, he's not really a crackhead, but you know, like he's cracked. You ever seen like Apex Legends, and you're watching these top level fucking players, and they're like jumping off the walls, fucking climbing the building that you never knew that you could climb on parts you never knew, and they're like fucking hopping off of the ledge into the fucking sky, doing some fucking, like, that's what I think of when I think of Ninja Killer. Like, he is fucking ridiculous, dude. Look at Michaelangelo in the back. Look at that sexy son of a gun. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, he's ridiculous, dude. He's like on another level. He's like a fucking robot. That's what he is. He's a robot. Would you like to see, because I've seen a lot of people ask for years since on Twitter for a tag game. Would you like to see a tag MK, Malik?
I think tag mode, like how they had at MK9, I think that's something that should just be in every MK game. I think they should always have a tag mode. Cause that makes it just a tag game. That would be interesting if they did that, like an actual like tag game with assists or 2v2, you swapping characters, whatever you want to say, however you want to do it. But definitely tag mode is. I think tag mode is always going to be hype for MK9. I wish they did more. It was broken, obviously, but I feel like they should have did more tag team terms in MK9. I remember they did one really big one, which I think Maxter and Rio won with. I think it was Johnny Cage and Cabal, if I remember correctly. But MK9, the tag terms, but I think a tag based Mortal Kombat would be something creative. I feel like MK11, like most people, like overall consistency, whether you like thought it was balanced or anything like that. I think most people thought that MK11 could have been more creative, more fun. That was the really biggest issue. But I don't think people had an issue with creativity and fun when it came to MKX or MK9.
Yeah.
Even Injustice, like the Injustice 1 and 2, they had more creativity, I think, than MK11 had, like, overall as games. So I think if they did a tag game with, like, assists and shit, like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, for example, just doing some crazy shit. I don't know what the assist would be, but they did something like that, like a 2v2 or I think a 3v3 probably would be pretty sick. If they did a 3v3, I think that'd be pretty good. So I think if they go that direction, I wouldn't mind that. And it probably would make the game more fast-paced. So if they did that, like a tag-based game, like run and stuff, that shit with assists and some other stuff like that, I think that'd be a pretty interesting game. I think people would like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think 2v2 might be perfect, actually. 2v2 makes the most sense. I mean, we got a little idea of it on the Towers of Time and shit. And even in Injustice 2. Yeah, they had it on there too. Before you go, Mike, quick question. Not before you go, but...
Yeah.
MK11 wake-up options. What do you think? You know what? Original Shinobi, he was in here last week. Rion. Video Red, thanks for the host, man. I am extremely grateful, you son of a gun. Thank you.
Oh my God!
He was talking about wake-up buttons. Now, I know a lot of us hate wake-up buttons, right? Especially in MK11. And I think it's mainly because of the meaty system. And it just sucks because you feel like you're getting cheated out of you feel like you're getting cheated out of a whatchamacallit, of a win, of a match. And I feel like Shinobi pretty much brought up to me, he was like, dude, he was like, I would like wake up buttons. And I was like, you know what, thinking about it now, it does suck to get hit by them. But it wouldn't be so bad if you had real, like, meaties. Like, if you didn't have a move that's sticking through the character. What's that, Red? If you have a move that was sticking through the character and they're literally invincible. Like, if that wasn't the case, then I think wake-up buttons wouldn't be so bad. Because they are an option to wake up. Like, they are in other fighting games, too. You know, like, it's there. It's not like just MK, you know? I
think people have it wrong. When it comes to hating wake up buttons, I think they're the problem and their meaties aren't right. Because if you fully meaty someone correctly and you're on your active frames, like when you stick your button out and you're let's say they're gonna try to wake up buttons, they should not be able to wake up buttons if your meaty is on right, because you're active before they are, so you're gonna hit them. The only way their wake up buttons are working is because your meaties are wrong. You're mistiming them or whatever. And I think they're a good option because say I'm someone that just likes to wake up crazy every time because I get nervous when you're pressuring me. So I'm like, okay, boom, I woke up 3 times already, but you never want to bait me. You never want to block, right? Yeah. So I'm waking up a lot. But then I realize, okay, he sees that I'm waking up a lot. So he wants to bait this wake up. And how do you bait a wake up? Obviously, you're going to block. If I know you're blocking my wake up, I'm not going to wake up with like a traditional wake up attack. I'm going to just wake up and push buttons and get my pressure started because I'm like, oh, it's a guess. You know, it's like rock, paper, scissors. Rock is block. Strike is scissors, grab is paper, and it's that 3 triangle, you know, of guessing game when someone is knocked down. And jumping, even some people are like, what a scrub, he's jumping on wake up. Well, you were blocking, so you let me jump out of this corner because you thought I was gonna wake up. I did wake up, but I just pushed jump. I do think it's effective and it's a mind game and it should be in there. Like, how can you stop wake up buttons in a game? You can't really do that. Eventually I have to get up and I'm able to decide if I want to push buttons, right? The only thing I can say to people about hating wake up buttons so much, just meaty correctly. And if you meaty correctly, I love people wake up buttons because I'm like, if I see someone keep doing it, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna meaty your ass, and you're gonna hit my active frames, and I'm gonna full combo you, and I'm gonna teach you to stop waking up buttons, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the thing. I think, like I said, I think it would be better if they had if the meaties were just better. If the meaties were like how they used to be in, you know, previous NRS games, like it would just be better. It doesn't necessarily have to be an OTG, because that would be kind of fucked up.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Maybe like more active frames.
Just more active frames on the hurt boxes of the moves on offense. I think that would be good, and wake up buttons would still be there, just not as prominent. But I will always stick with. I love the offense of MKX. You know, fast, block pressure, cancels. You know, armor, etc. Right, but when you're down, you're down. Like, you're fucked. You know, and I think it would be cool to meet in the middle where MK11 has great defensive options. And MKX, if you had those defensive options in MKX, there'd be a huge change in the demographic of people winning, losing, and just overall how the matches would end up being. So I think having those both in there would prove satisfactory for the next game. It's meeting the best of both worlds. Great offense, strong offense with great defense, strong defense. That's it. I think that would be perfect. Because I'm not a fan of MK11. I'm not. I dislike it more than I dislike. Well, I might dislike it a little bit more than I dislike the final patch of MKX. Because that final patch just killed me. It just destroyed me. I don't think I still recovered from that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I did at all whatsoever.
Wow.
But yeah, I think meeting right in the middle would be perfect. You know, wake up rolls. Backdash doesn't cost a stamina, so the backdash, you add another wake up system. It's like, okay, this motherfucker can backdash. It's invincible. I think it would be great if you had those options. And you said something too earlier. I think it would be cool if they took a page out of Street Fighter. It doesn't hurt to take a page out of other fighting games. I mean, I learn from other people as well. Like, I don't just come up with shit all by myself, even though I am mostly an innovator from a lot of the stuff that I do, but I learn from other people as well. That was nice. But I think they could take a page out of Street Fighter. You know, having a super meter, and this is what you said earlier, maybe not last podcast, Michael, is they have a super meter, right? It's separate. Maybe it's for their fatal blow, whatever. And when, like, you're down to your last breath, you know, you can use some of that to maybe hit like a counter or a reflect or something. So like when you're down to fucking pixels and you die to chip, and like you've just flawless blocked them, right? Because I think flawless block is a good thing to return. I don't know about up-2s or up-3s, but I think it's good to save yourself from dying. But if say you flawless block somebody and fucking you have your super meter, that super meter can also be used offensively. Like, you kind of, it's like I keep saying this, but it's like an install in a way. Like, you have options off of that. Now you're not just fully dead. You know what I mean? Like, you can use some of your super meter to kind of counteract when you're dead. I mean, maybe it's scrubby. Maybe it's like, oh, this guy was dead. He has no bars, no EX bars, and he had his super meter, so he should have been dead. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But
what if there was a mechanic in the game where it's like, it says when it says like finish him, if you have some type of meter you saved or whatever, you could actually like mercy yourself one time. So they had to basically, like, it's a mercy, but it's to yourself. Like, you get to resurrect yourself, and it just adds to like the, oh shit, like, damn, I almost beat him, but then he resurrected. KI had it. KI had in KI1, you could it would get to the finish him screen, and if you button mashed hard enough, it was like Dizzy in Street Fighter. If you button mashed hard enough before they finished you or touched you, you would come back and have an extra extra little bit of health. I think you didn't have any health. It was just one touch, you're dead. But just that little scare, like, oh, had him. I already killed him. And like, how hype would that be? I want a lot of hype mechanics in the game. And I think stuff like that oh shit factor of like, he had him, but like he messed up, or you did something great to make yourself come back, and it just leads to amazing moments, and that would be nice to have something like that.
I agree. I think that would be kind of cool to see something different, and honestly, I want to see. Have you guys seen the Street Fighter 6 gameplay with Marissa versus Manon? It came out like maybe this past week. Have you guys seen that video yet?
Yeah.
There's this move like 30 seconds in where Marissa, like, she does like this red armor move. It wasn't her drive gauge. I don't think it was. And she does like this 2-hit punch, and the second punch goes into like, not necessarily like a cinematic, but there's like an action camera move where it zooms in and it comes in behind her at an angle, and she like punches Manon like back to full screen. Like, I want to see shit like that. Like, I want EX moves back. I want to see EX moves back. Like, not really a lot of this injustice meter burning shit. Like, if it has to be in there, maybe a couple characters like MKX, Liu Kang can meter burn after, or enhance it after he did his bicycle kick to a flip, so you had a guess there. But I want EX moves back, and I want them to have that kind of action camera movement where like the screen is shaking and you can just feel the punches, not just hear them, but you can feel.
Stop it.
The punches.
Get some help.
And I want that back. Nostalgia is always going to be key, and I think when I think Mortal Kombat, I think EX moves. I just music. I want music. I want everything to be good again. Like, not that it's not good, right? There's I'm gonna go on a ramble. Oh my god, it's gonna get really sad in here, and I apologize, folks. I want music. I want variations gone. I want costumes, actual costumes, not color paths. I want EX moves. Instead of the EX moves, I want ground pound cancels. I want anti-airs. I want everything, and I want it all to be very balanced. And what I mean by balanced, not watered down. I want it all to be. For example, people complain MK9, right? Cabal, Cyrax, Kenshi, Sonya, Freddy Krueger. Even though people relate on Freddy Krueger, if you're not playing these characters, you're gonna pretty much lose. Like, it's a GG's. Like, you're gonna have a tough time. If they just buff the characters below, people will not complain and cry too much about these broken characters. That's another thing. I don't want them to nerf characters and just totally just destroy their kits. Like, I mean, Tweety is a good example. He's still doing it with Geras, even though they nerfed Geras to the ground, but he's still good. But it's also by the fact of the game is MK11 is the most balanced game NRS has ever made. So, however, I don't want them to nerf the shit out of characters. I don't want them to pretty much I don't want them to fucking nerf this character's Rekkas, and then this other character comes in and is like, oh, I have Rekkas, and they're way better. What, bitch? Like, don't do that. Don't take something away from a character and give it to another character. It totally defeats the purpose. It's like, why did you even just... I love playing this character. I'm addicted to playing this character. I don't want to play no one else. I am stuck onto this character. So I just want them to really just, fucking just bring it back, dude. You've had your fun. You had your time to fucking experiment. And I'm over it, dude. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm done. I'm done right there. Okay, I'm done. I promise. I'm done. What's up, Static? Okay.
Denzel has returned.
Denzel's back.
Bro, Shaggy.
Oh God.
What's up, dude?
What was the topic just now?
Hold on. I'm
Well,
just
a
talking
topic
about. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Mike.
What? I was gonna say a topic that was actually interesting that I wanted to ask you as well, that I asked Malik, was I asked Malik, like, what do you credit the top 3 things that made you like the player you are? Like, in terms, like, people listening right now, and say there's a new kid listening and he wants to get good at the next game, and he's like, wow, how did like this guy that got 5, evil medals, like, what was like 3 things that made you get those evil medals? Like, what do you credit being as good as you were?
Number one would be having my brother, which that's literally a cheat code, is having a sibling or just somebody you could play in person that wants to get as good as you want to get. Like, I feel like I got really good really fast because I have that offline. I could test something on somebody. The funny thing is I'll try something and it'll work, but since we play, it's like, okay, I know you're gonna do that. So then he counters it. It's like, okay, now he has something that I'm like, okay, what the hell is he doing? And then now I'm gonna counter it, and then you're just playing. You end up finding all these situations that most people won't even get to experience because they don't have that person that they can play. We just play so many characters, especially for MK9. Like, we would play so many characters and we could test so many things, even though we don't have like the most optimal for every character. We at least would have an idea for a lot, and then just playing somebody else, and then we could bring back what we learned from playing somebody else, and we can implement it, and we can kind of train and got rid. Like, that's number one, because I feel like I would have get good. Yeah, I would have still have gotten good, but will it have been as fast when you have that offline part?
Yeah.
Training, and you can keep testing and training and testing. Like, it's a literal cheat code, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, Honeybee, Biohazard, they were so good. And then right now you got those Chile twins. They're gonna be so ridiculous. It's because you got brothers that can test stuff on each other all the time. And then if you play, stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little cheat code. It's probably one of the biggest cheat codes of getting better in a fighting game is if you have somebody that can test stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why Malik got so damn good. Also, it's like, I mean, my style is defensive mostly. Like, I base my style off defense first, and he was more offensive, like, first. You know what I'm saying? We kind of morphed our play styles together after like playing a lot. It's like, you know what? I can also not only testing stuff, but literally we can morph our play styles and switch the way we play certain characters, so we really can get good. Not only from just learning the different characters, strings, all that stuff, but the different play styles, you know what I'm saying, that we can kind of, we're not going to get every play style, but just having that ability to change the way we play, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could go and play really defensive, Malik defensive, but I learned how to play offensive from playing Malik. I'm like, okay, I can play like this too. And then Malik was not really big on the defensive play at first, but he learned how to do it. He's like, you know what? If Denzel can do it, I can do it too. And then we kind of just morphed, and we got really, really good. So yeah, that would be the first thing, number one. Then we got the second thing I would say is most people don't know this, but we actually started off like learning fighting game fundamentals from Street Fighter, and that doesn't have to be your first game, but for me and Malik, like we really started to learn like how to properly play fighting games from Street Fighter. Like I remember when Malik first had bought Street Fighter 4, and I wasn't even gonna try it, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. And then we started playing and stuff, and then we started playing online, thinking that we would be good. Like, oh, okay, we get to play different people. I've never done this before. And we were playing Street Fighter 4, and yeah, we just started getting good. You know, we started like joining like little rooms and stuff, and people would teach us certain things, and we would learn, and we started learning. And then MK9 came out when we started to really learn some of the fundamentals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we just got really good, you know, just off that base game, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be Street Fighter, but just me and Malik, like that was like a good base before we branched out into Mortal Kombat. And like I can probably that credit a lot.
Oh no.
Fighter. Like Street Fighter is why I play the way I play. Like that's where I base my style from versus is Street Fighter, and then I kind of just transitioned it into Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? And same thing with Malik, like he transitioned his style from Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like we transitioned, because if Mortal Kombat never came out, we would have been competitive Street Fighter players, guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%.
Guaranteed. Because Mortal Kombat was our favorite game. You know what I'm saying? Like that was our favorite game, so we were like, we're about to just keep playing this. You know, we still play Street Fighter on the side still, because we like Street Fighter, but Mortal Kombat was just our game, so that's when we really started to thrive. You know what I'm saying? And then the last thing I would say that me is getting as good as I am.
No, we lost him again. No, not the phone died.
Dude, he was about to tell the world. He was about to tell the world the deepest secret of like get good at a fighting game, and he fucking cut out.
Bro.
We were all about to be on DJT's level of fighting games with that last answer. And the last thing that I credit my freaking whole existence and life and why I have my medals is because click.
Blue ball. Denzel just gave the entire community blue balls.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's one thing. I'm gonna piggyback off that since Denzel's not here. One thing I will say to you guys, and it's a mistake that I've made too, is have confidence in yourself. Don't second guess. Sure, have a game plan. Great. But be confident in yourself, because I used to think like that, like, fuck, I'm about to play Perfect Legend. Like, oh, fuck, it's a wrap. Like, I'm done. You know, I wouldn't say that I'm done. I would say fuck. Or I'd be like, when I played Online Tony for the first time, because I seen him in some tournaments, right? And only a lot of the OGs really remember Online Tony. He's a Street Fighter player. I know Michael does. And,
oh, yeah.
And Malik does. He was like the number one Seth in America, right? Was it Seth?
Yep. Yeah.
So anyways, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna play online Tony. And like, I mind fucked myself already from that alone. Mind fucked myself. So be confident in yourself. Know that the other person is human too. If they're better than you, then you play, and what you want to do is take from that match and be better next time, right? Do not be sorry, boy. Be better. You know what I mean? So when you come back next week, you'll know how to counter. And if they come up with something new, if you still lose but you countered what you lost to the last time, you're still winning in reality, because you just have to learn how to fight against this. Just like every day, there's always something new. There's always another obstacle. So just be confident in yourself. If you lose, don't take it to heart. I mean, take it to be better and to get better. Don't take it to heart like, fuck, dude, like, I suck, I should stop playing fighting games. And that even if people are talking shit to you, just be better and prove them wrong. It's possible, dude. It's not like we have to dunk from the fucking 3-point line. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it in a fighting game. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause not all of it has to be skill. Like, fighting games, a lot of the times, or sometimes it takes luck. Sometimes it's luck, bro. Like, it's not just like this guy's better than me. It's like, oh fuck, this mechanic worked out for me. You know what I mean? So just be confident in yourself. That's the only thing I'd have to say, because I still sometimes would have problems. You know, like, fuck, why did I doubt myself, or why did I, like, I'm Dab. Like, I don't talk about myself. I'm not Hollywood, and I was like, dude, I've done this, I've done that, I've gotten this many top 8s, I've beaten this guy, I beat that guy. So it's like, you can do it, guys. And if you beat them before, you can do it again. So just remember that. If you beat them before, you can do it again. And pick a top tier character sometimes. Let me see. This is a genuine question. We have a question from someone requested. It's a genuine question. I have me being from Africa. The level of play when it comes to you guys in North America is one different realm. How do you guys approach the game when it comes to labbing, building, fundamentals, all that kind of stuff? What's your mindset? I'll go first on that real quick, since I'm already kind of on the topic. The first thing I go to is I look for my defensive options, and I'll break it down real quick and I'll make it short. Being from an MK9 guy, like a lot of us were, we loved the anti-airs. We loved the anti-air. You cannot jump on a motherfucker, like, you just couldn't, and it felt so good when you outspace someone so well, where all they had to do was jump, right? And you perfected yourself through whatever characters you're playing. Me, MKX came out, anti-airs were about non-existent compared to MK9, right? Well, I had to find a way to get better.
Put the bunny back in the box.
And what I did was, I'm sure other people found it before me, all right? But I was like, my standing one's not working. My down two, yeah, maybe it's good, but it's a little slow. I'm getting beat out by these run jumps, and this fucking guy's jump one reaches like full screen. I found a way to stop jumping, and that was using the EX moves, the armor moves. Like I said, people probably found it before me, but I feel like I was one of the first people to start doing it, because that was the only way you could really stop an anti-air, like, or an air teleport, and they have an instant jump kick, and it would actually train people to stop fucking jumping at you and play you in neutral. You know what I mean? I mean, jumping's part of fighting games. It needs to be in fighting games for sure. But that's my mindset. Defensively, defense wins championships all the time. And then ultimately, I would say get one with your character. Become one with your character, the character that you like, and also try every character. And what I mean by that, if you want to get better, I would say you should at least know how to know how to place some of the characters. Like Denzel said earlier, it's a cheat code having a brother. It is. I was fortunate enough to have those two on my team and to compete. I mean, and to practice with them. But I would say pick other characters and go to the lab, see what other people are doing with the characters that are finding them success, and then place yourself in that same situation in the lab. So for example, Johnny does a forward 3, a dash cancel 1-1, and he's like plus 15, and like you're like, okay, I'm fucked, but what can I do after? You know what I mean? Like, what can I do to challenge? So you want to put yourself in those situations that'll make it tough, and see what you can do to counter react. That's how you're gonna level up. And another thing is, besides confidence and all that other good shit that I just told you, you have to find some players that are raw, bro. You have to find people that are better than you, because that's the only way that you're gonna get better. Like, I just started watching Naruto. Okay, I'm gonna jump off. I promise I'm done after this. And like, these fools don't get better by fighting. I know, okay, guys, I just started watching Naruto. Whatever. Ha! Better late than never. They don't get better by just fucking beating scrubs, bro. Like, they get better by losing and being challenged by the best. And that's how it is in real life, bro. And in fighting games. Mostly real life, but in fighting, that's how it is, dude. You have to play against the best. Like, I didn't get this good, or, I mean, I'm not like that anymore, but I didn't get to the level where I was at by just playing scrubs all the time, or me being a scrub all the time. Like, I lost to Denzel a lot. I lost to Malik a lot. I lost to fucking Tyrant a lot, you know, and going to these offline tournaments back then. Then, as the years went on, I got better, started leveling up, started beating these players, started hanging with these players, you know what I mean? And that's how it goes, man. And you just got to trust the process and trust in yourself. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I am done.
I love you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Probably if people could take away something today was what Denzel did say about the first thing having not. This is a thing though. Not all of us have a brother, but maybe not a brother, but like a training partner that's like as dedicated as you. Because like with a brother, because I do have a brother, and it's like when we love UFC, play the game, and I don't want him to be better than me. He doesn't want me to be better than him, but we want both of us to keep growing and pushing each other. And when he beats me up, and like there'll be like a month he's better than me, but I'll keep playing him because obviously we live close together, and I don't give up. Like you said, Dab, is like there's a lot of people that they'll lose and be like, well, I lost to Dab at this tournament. I'm not playing this no more because I'm just not good enough. And when you have like a training partner, like brother, it's easiest with a brother. Like you have the CD brothers. You had the
My God. There he is.
Hello?
Hello.
My bad. I lost you for a second. But what I was saying is like you had the CD brothers, you have the Chilean brothers, and DJT&MIT brothers. It's so obvious that it is really good to have that type of like someone that lives with you and like has the same passion as you. There's no better like way to play really. And it's like, cause there's a lot of online players and they'll give up and shit, but like when you have that close player, and it doesn't have to be a brother, it just helps when you live with him. But as long as you have a training partner, and like you said there's a lot of people with egos that play video games out there that when they get beat by someone, they're like, well, I'm just not going to play them, and I'm just going to play someone I'm just beating, but and that's the cool thing about life is like, you're only hurting yourself. You're probably boosting your ego by beating these people you're beating all the time.
Yeah.
But you're really hurting yourself in the end by not playing these hard players that understand the game as much as you do and that play it as much as you do, and you only win maybe 50% of the time. It's just so much better. And that's something like when I went to Yomi and I played DJT&MIT, I never gave up. Like I was living with them, so I couldn't just be like avoid them. Even though we did have some players that were from Atlanta that would avoid playing us because we were better than them. And it's like, it is what it is. That's why they weren't on our level. But it just goes to show, like, that's how it was.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Though. It isn't, and like you said, like like me and you, like when we played and you beat me, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna fuck you up next time. I'm gonna get you. Watch. Like you need to lose, guys. Like you can't win everything, right? You can't be Sonic Fox right out the way. You can't be DJT right out the gate. You can't be Ninja Killer. You know, you can't be Tweety Rewind. Like these fools had to lose before they got better too. You know what I mean? Obviously, definitely more talented than a lot of other people, but you have to lose, because if you don't lose, you don't learn, bro. Like you have to learn, and it really depends up to you how, if you want to get better or not. I mean, that really depends on what you do after you lose, if you get better. And like, for example, real quick, I know I've been rambling on, but I'm just trying to give out some knowledge to people. When I was playing Injustice 1 and Ducky, not a lot of people know Injustice 1, the first tournament, was it 2013, 2014? 2014. Dude, Ducky should have won Evo. He should have been the one who won instead of what's that player's name? KD Zasser.
KD 2013.
What's his name? KDZ. Dude, Raven was fucked up, and he barely lost to KDZ. If he would have beat KDZ in the pools to get to top 8, he would have won. He would have beat everyone. Anyways, for example, he was beating my ass with Raven, and every week at the locals, he was beating my ass. I was like, dude, I know I'm better than him, but he was just better than me. And Raven, he was really great with that character. He's the best Raven of all time. And I tried Superman, I tried Grundy, and sometimes I would have success, but that's only in like rounds. I'd never beat him. I don't think I've ever beat him. I think I may have reset a set, but I never beat him. I don't even want to say I've done that. Anyways, I know this sounds like a cop-out, but I started playing Martian. Not necessary to combat, but necessarily kind of yes, because Martian is super sick. But it worked out for me, even though like Martian was a top tier. It helped me out, and the stuff that I learned by losing, right? It wasn't just, oh, I picked up Martian, it was easy win. No, you can't just do that. It was the stuff that I learned from losing to him and how I came at it with a different character. Yes, Martian was top tier. That's not why I did it. I tried every other character I played, and it was just. So yes, explore new things, try new characters. The only way I hate trying new characters is when they nerf the fuck out of your character, and you're like, you have no more characters. So yeah, rule number 8, write it down. Pick a top tier. Long story short, pick a top tier. Yeah. No, but this has been a good cast, honestly. I mean, we had a couple technical difficulties, and it happens, but
bro,
I think it's really good. I'm looking forward to MK12. I'm ready to see some I'm ready to get back in there again, to compete, to travel, to learn, to get better, to level up. You guys have to level up. Like, if you want to get better, guys, you have to. Like, there's some people who can do it. Like that Arn Kratos, the Russian player. This fucker will play Kombat League all day, every day. Probably run a couple sets with some friends. And he fucking went out there and he beat Sonic. So, I want to tell you guys this right now. Believe in yourself. Don't second guess yourself. I've done that many times and I lost to myself. Of course I've lost to the player, but I lost to myself. And I don't want you guys to make that mistake. Because you can do it. $10. Come on. Thanks, dude.
Mazzy donated $10. You guys are legends.
Dude, you're the best, dude. Thank you so much for that. You are the best, Mossy. Thank you. So yeah, guys, I think here's what we want. We want music. We want that nostalgic feel or some kind of remix of the nostalgic. No more of this orchestra shit. Leave that shit out. Even in the fucking character select window, Get that shit the fuck out of here right now.
Oh!
Get it out.
He needs some milk.
I want some MK theme remixes. I want variations gone. I want EX moves. I want the screen to shake. I want fast. I want high velocity. You know, I want the blood flowing. You know, I want the blood flowing, and that's what she said. I want this all to come back, man. We need it. We need a change, and I don't want them to go to like a fatigue. We need the change, and hopefully it happens soon. You guys have anything else you kind of want to add on that before I kind of end the cast, or is there anything you guys kind of want to rock with? We kind of covered a lot. We covered MK11, MKX, MK12, characters we want to see return, mechanics, guest characters.
We do.
Maybe we'll have to like redo this again in the future. So if Denzel's thing doesn't die on him again, you know, if you guys want to do that too in the chat, let me know. I don't mind bringing back the brothers. I mean, wouldn't that be great?
I have one
though?
comment.
He said no comment.
I said I have one comment.
Oh yeah, please. I'm not. We don't have to get off if you.
When you were talking about Blind Ducky winning Evo, like first off, if you got a Doomsday Raven, that is an instant cook. But
hey, for real though. Hey, you were. Oh wait, I forgot. I forgot you were in Grand Finals.
I don't even care about Raven. Whatever she ain't got no wake up. Just do the stupid move. Smash.
Ground shake, where that shit was gone.
Bro, yeah, I forgot you were in Grand Finals.
Instant answer to Raven, but yeah, Mortal Kombat, we need it. Give us the movement. Give us the crazy creative combos. Give us the crazy music. Give us the screen shakes. Give us the crazy effects. Give us I like the brutalities, you know, the slow motion brutalities, but make sure the requirements aren't like you gotta hit a down 3 on the 3rd frame, but also you gotta jump off an interactable and all this randoms. Like no, like make it make sense.
Yeah,
you know, like make it tie into like the character's actual strategy. It's like, so it works. It's like, oh, they gotta hit this string like 4 times or something. Like, you know, they're gonna go after anyways, you know, so you can actually see all the cool brutalities. You can't get to see them if you got all these stupid requirements, you know, like just stupid. Like, I get it for the casuals and stuff, whatever, but for competing and adding that effect of having like cool like brutals, definitely make the requirements make sense so we can see them. But also for tournaments, can you have like some type of mode or something where everything is unlocked so we don't have to see the same stupid brutals because they don't have all the stuff unlocked, or even more like costumes or whatever, like have it unlocked so we can see that variety at the tournaments, and it's not just so like plain because you don't get to see it all because it's all locked up.
Bro, I was gonna say the same thing.
Come on, give us a mode, or I don't give a shit if I gotta pay $20 or what. I don't care. Just give me what I need so we can get to the good stuff, the goodies. We need the goodies. The people want to see it. Like, it's cool. It adds to that, to the viewership. You know what I'm saying? When you get like that brutality is so sick, bro. Like, but you don't get to see it if it has a stupid requirement or you don't even have it unlocked because it's all unlocked, and you gotta do stupid crypt or something, or you gotta do this stupid tower. Hate towers.
Yeah.
Don't bring towers back. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's like when we're
hate towers.
It's like when we're coming home or we want to escape reality or whatever, we don't want to have to continue to work. We just came from work. Why do I have to fucking play 5 towers to unlock one fucking...
Yes!
Like, bro, like, no. Get that... I'll gladly pay... I will fucking Apex this shit. I will EA Sports it. If you have to pay $20 for a sick-ass skin, I don't give a fuck. I'll end up fucking probably paying it. I mean, I'd rather do that than fucking... You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you some money for some sick-ass skins instead of fucking just playing this fucking tower for fucking, like, 3 hours just to get some skins that I want when I could be leveling up, you know?
Yes, towers are ass. Towers are ass.
And I had an idea too, real quick. I'm gonna let you go next, Michael, my bad, or Malik. Like for the finish him screen. Yeah, JT brought it up too. Get that shit the fuck out here too. The MK11 finish him screen, get the fuck out, okay? If you're gonna add that in, maybe add it in like, say like you continue the combo like how MKX does it. And then when like you end your combo into a brutality, maybe like it slows down, like it becomes like somewhat a cinematic almost, and then it says finish him, and then like as they're moving, they're waiting for the finish him prompt, and like the camera's moving in somewhat cinematically, and then after the finish him, it goes back to them doing a brutality, like something like that. Like the MKX way was perfect in my opinion. Like just keep it like that. And if you want the finish him to be there, to be prominent, and they're gonna do a brutality or whatever, kind of make it a semi-cinematic where like the camera kind of zooms in and it slows down for a second, because now the brutality is gonna start. Finish him, then boom. But like, don't do that shit in the middle of a combo. Like you're literally giving me a fucking lag spike online, and I'm just over it. Honestly, I'm over it.
What happened? Number one. Michael, you what?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I agree. And to touch up on like one thing that Denzel said about his second, how to get better and stuff, about he was playing other games like Street Fighter and everything. Yeah. And I think that's crucial. Is like a lot of these players like Chris G and stuff, why are they so good at like every game they touch? Is because they take you really do take a little bit of everything that you've learned from like, you know, Street Fighter and Marvel and stuff, because it teaches you how to block better. And like, how is Sonic so good at all these games? You know, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Skullgirls, Mortal Kombat, is because he plays them all. And it's like, he always stays ready. And I feel like when that next game is announced, I'd recommend, if you want to get ready, play a bunch of different fighting games, and they'll teach you something. Either it's block, either it's offense, whatever. Just don't be afraid. Like if you consider yourself, oh, I'm just a Mortal Kombat player, still don't be afraid to be like, oh, you know, I know fundamentally how to play MK. Street Fighter looks kind of cool. I'll try that too. And yeah, and you'll be like blown away. Like, whoa, wait a minute, I learned this in Street Fighter, and then you go back to MK, and you're like, oh, like it works in MK. Like my blocking got better or something, you know. So that's always cool too.
Yeah, it really is, and I 100% I agree with that. I endorse that message, honestly, because it's crazy too. Like I look at stuff like watching Street Fighter 6 gameplay, or like even when I played KI, I would do stuff that I learned in NRS games, and it would work out for me because it's different from what they're used to, and like maybe it's a different route or a different defensive tactic or something like that. It works. So I endorse that for sure. So rule number 8, pick a top tier. Rule number 9, play another game. Don't be afraid to pick top tiers, guys. I mean, if you want to win, sometimes you gotta put them in. I mean, don't be stubborn. It's good to be a hero.
But something, you know. Yeah, but you know what I learned too, though, like, with longevity of playing a game, like say you know you're gonna play it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Top tiers are good, but don't pick a boring top tier that is like not your style.
Yeah.
Like you could pick a like a 5th tier, 6th tier character, but if you know longevity wise that like, dude, I'm having a lot of fun with this character. Like he's my style. Like I like zoning setups, right? So I'm not gonna pick like total rushdown character. I'm looking for like, even though maybe I hear the rushdown character, hey, he's the best in the game, pick him. But I'm like, I'm gonna kind of quit this game if I just pick him because I'm gonna be bored just playing him.
Yeah.
I think longevity wise is also good to pick a good character, but also a character that like you have fun. Because I know a lot of people that they quit like a game or didn't see maybe like MKX how I seen it, where I was like, dude, to me MKX is like the funnest, even the last patch. And I know you Dab were saying that like, oh dude, that last patch killed me.
It did.
And it might have not have, yeah, and it might have not have been the game itself. Maybe it was the character you were playing killed you.
Dude.
Because Quan Chi, like even the last patch always felt fun to me.
Yeah.
And I was always just happy playing him. So it never really died for me. And I feel like a lot of people that do complain about a certain game where I thought was fun, I'm like, maybe it's not the game you think is ass. It's just the character you're playing because maybe you heard he was top tier, but then it wasn't to your liking. So you just stopped playing the game altogether because it was a boring top tier or something. Like,
yeah.
So that does go into play as well. But hey, at the end of the day, do pick a top tier.
Yeah. Seriously though, like, cause it did kill me. Like, I in the final patch, I had all 3 of my characters nerfed to the ground, and like,
oh yeah,
it was hard for me to like. I honestly, I became ass, dude. Like, like it's crazy, dude. Like, and it wasn't like I was carried by top tiers, like, because before Tanya, I played Tanya after her second patch. Like, I never played her out the gate. Like, I used to play Jackie and fucking Brawler Cassie, bro, getting top 8s. And Jax. But I didn't really play Jax like that because he had those issues, remember? So I didn't really play him as much. But,
yeah.
But, like, dude, like, Tanya, I lost Tanya. And I didn't want to play her other variations, even though maybe it would have been better if I played Pyro or whatever. And then Alien, I lost Alien. And then I lost Jax for no reason. No one was ever complaining about Jax. And it's like, fuck, dude. I don't know. So, yeah, it was tough. But, you know,
yeah.
Playing it now, like, I still play it sometimes on PC. I'm like, maybe I should have went to Jason. Or maybe I should have stuck with Sector, you know? So, don't do what I did, guys. I mean, it was tough for me, but don't do what I did and just fucking quit. Because, like, I couldn't hack it anymore, honestly. And I love Jack so much, especially in this game. He was so badass that I end up still going back to him, even if I'm playing a matchup that's like 10-0. I you know what I mean? Like, just Michael said longevity. In the end, like, yes, you're playing a top tier character, but if you're playing a character and you're a master of your character, then the top tier shit won't matter. I mean, look at Snake Eyes with fucking Zangief. He makes it happen. Now, do you want to put yourself to that trauma and pressure? That's on you, man. You know? But sorry, I'm rambling off. I'm getting everything off my chest tonight. I don't know why.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And for the last, I don't even think I gave my last reason for like what made me as good as I got. And I want to say for the last reason, and this one is pretty crucial because in the beginning of like getting good, there's gonna be a lot of losing, like a lot. And the biggest reason why I stayed with it is because I just really, really wanted to get better. Like, that desire to get better was stronger than how much I lost, because I lost a lot. Like, I don't even, like, looking back, I don't even think about all the, like, losses I took. Like, it was a lot of losing before I did a lot of winning.
Yeah.
I did a lot of losing, like, a lot. Like, I probably have lost more than some people have won all together in all their fighting game years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much
losing. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Michelangelo's lost a lot too before he got really good. Malik lost a lot. Like, we lost a lot before you start winning. Like, and people don't necessarily see all the losing that you do on that journey to becoming like better. Nobody sees the losing. You know, they're seeing like how good you are. It's like, well, I lost to this situation hundreds and hundreds of times where it's like, okay, now I recognize it. Now I can get better right here. Okay, now I lost in this situation this amount of times. So now I'm good. I'm really good now right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you've lost in so many different situations and like you actually learn from them, then it's like you start to become really, really good because it's like, okay, now I know I'm not gonna lose to that again like that because I learned, you know what I'm saying? And it takes a while. I mean, these days they have so many tools and there's videos and there's so many different like people and players to watch. Like these days, but like you can definitely get better a lot faster because of all the resources. But yeah, man, still like there's gonna be a lot of losing. So just having that desire to actually want to get better, no matter what, it'll go a long way because yeah, there's a lot of losing in the beginning, and it can be very discouraging because even when you get good or you know you feel like you got to a certain level where it's like, oh, you know, I'm pretty good now, like, and then you'll play somebody else that will completely destroy you, and you'll feel like, damn, I feel like I haven't gotten better, but no. Now you just have that desire, like, okay, now I there's a different level that I have to reach now because it's like, okay, now I'm playing this type of player. Like, okay, I used to lose to this type of player, but it's like, okay, now these players right here, I can beat them, you know what I'm saying, or I'm at that level. Then you go against somebody else, it's like, damn, I feel like I haven't done anything, you know what I'm saying? You kind of beat yourself up. You don't look at how far you've come, but then, you know, you get better, and then you get to another, you know, level where it's like, okay, now I'm feeling really good about how good I am, and then, you know, you might play somebody even better than you really thought that other player was. And it's like, bro, like, you know, and it's a cycle, you know, and just having that desire to just want to get better no matter what, like it'll take you a long way. And I feel like that's another reason why I stayed as good as I was, because I just wanted to get better. Like, I wanted to get better no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I also I'm really competitive, you know, too. But yeah, just wanting to get better, just continuing to not give up because you just want to get better, you know? I feel like those are the people that actually get good at it. Doesn't matter what the fighting game is. If that person wants to get better, they're going to get better. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to do everything it takes. Rather, you got to learn this combo. You got to lab this character. Like, the people who want to get better, they're going to get better. It doesn't matter how difficult the game is, or this mechanic, or that comp. Like, they're going to get better no matter what. So yeah, I feel like that's the third thing for me. Just wanting to get better, no matter what.
Yep, I think these are key components that people should definitely take heed from, for sure, 100%. Anything to kind of add on that, Malik? Oh no, I lost Malik. Did we lose the Malak?
Y'all hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we kind of, if Michael has nothing else, we can go ahead and wrap it up after Malik.
Yep, I'd say just one last thing is one last thing I would say, just like as far as like, you know, being good at fighting games and stuff like that. How you get to the next level, how you stay at the next level, and even like you take a break, like aside from like, you know, good fundamentals like, you know, anti-airing and stuff like that. I feel like the worst thing people can do is games come out and then people like, you know, there's top tier or characters perceived as top tier, yada yada, all that stuff. If you have a character you're playing and you feel like you can make XYZ character work, I've done this multiple times with characters of people or variations of characters. Like I remember Tanya, she was obviously hella busted, hella good. You know, a lot of people were using Pyromancer and Dragon Naginata. They weren't using Koba Jutsu, and I was like, you know, I feel like Koba Jutsu is the one that works best. Like if you feel like a character can work and you feel like you can actually like crack, you know, discover or, you know, crack open, you know, solve what makes this character really good, then you should don't be so quick to just be like, oh, people are saying this character's like this, so I should just hop out of this character. Because what you do with XYZ characters, and if you do it right, and I can give examples of this, like Rewind 1, like Evo, he's Blue Beetle mainly. I remember Luffy running Street Fighter Evo with Rose, not a character that was used by a lot of people in tournaments, stuff like that, etc., etc. Like that character could be the key to you winning a very big tournament. It could be an Evo type tournament, but if you just drop the character off and then you don't actually like explore said character or characters, you could be missing out on not just the winning tournaments. You could be missing out on the character that actually suits you the best for just like, I'm just going to choose the top tier. I mean, you can use the top tier and you'll probably still get good results, but actually exploring a character that you enjoy using when you first start a game will probably help you in the long run better than just like, I'm just going to start off with a top tier. I'm not even going to try to play anyone that I enjoy playing. I'm just going to do it like that. Like you can do it like that, that's whatever, but it's not going to be as enjoyable. You're probably not going to get as you're not going to improve as much. You pretty much you want to improve more when you use a character that you enjoy using. It pushes you to like the next level when you do that. So I feel like that's important. Especially starting out in the game, like don't be so quick to switch off a character or like people say just stab by like no. A lot of times people say whatever about a character and like they're completely wrong usually. Especially when the game comes out, they're usually pretty damn wrong. Like maybe the character you start off with is low tier, but hey, maybe you use that character, they get buffed. Then it's like, oh shit, now I've been using this character and they got buffed. Now I'm about to really like mess everyone's shit up now because I've already been using them when they were not good. So now I'm using them when they are good. Yeah, you guys are toast. So yeah, just wanted to add that.
Yeah, that was really good, and I completely agree with Malik says about like sometimes you just got to go with your intuition of something of like a lot of people are followers. So when one good player that touched a character for 2 minutes says that character sucks, a lot of people are just going to be like, that character sucks. And then everyone thinks it because everyone's saying that character sucks. But then you have the character loyalists, like Dad was saying earlier in the podcast, is like, oh, like, I'm going to play with this character. And I feel, hey, some of these tools are good. And I'm going to use this in tournament. And people like, obviously it also helps because they're not playing against that matchup a lot because no one plays the character because they all think they suck. And then it's like you have that advantage too. So if you truly feel like, no, I believe this is a good character, do it, because even your belief will help you further with it and you're interested in the character. Yeah, so that was really good because I got that a lot. In fighting games, there's a lot of characters where I'm like, no, I like this character. Like, it's a cool character. I'm having fun with him. And it doesn't suck as much as people say. I see some tools that I'm getting away with, like beating people with. So you do have to just trust yourself and your intuition.
Yeah, man. You're Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Peter. Where's
all right? Yeah, man.
Your brain is a very very unique organ. It's a very unique part of who you are, and if you're confident in yourself and you're telling yourself these things, most of the time it's gonna work out for you. Like the man who says he can't and the man who says I can, they're both usually right, and it's really just the mindset ultimately. I've been fucked by my own mindset many times. So trust me when I say this. It's confidence, mindset. Just don't think too much about it. If you need to pick a top tier, pick a top tier. I've done it many times and it's worked out for me. But like Michael said, don't just pick a fucking top tier that's just like not good. Like it doesn't have to be the best character. It could be like maybe the fourth best one, because that character probably fits you the most, and you're gonna fucking do work with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just me.
There's one thing I was thinking about when just going back to talking about when you play different fighting games and thinking about what Michaelangelo was saying. Another good thing you get from not only just playing a lot of different fighting games, or even just playing a lot of the games that are similar, rather that's NRS games or Capcom, whatever, is and the longer you play, you start to recognize like who are the good characters pretty fast. Like I've learned how to recognize just certain things. You can kind of see if they're good, even though you might not know everything just yet. There's just certain things you could see fast. Like say for example, like you start testing out the projectiles. You're like, oh, this projectile might be one of the best, because you're like, oh, you know, it has a certain speed to it, or like this angle is really good, or you know, when you really start to look at strings and you start to look at what does this string do after this character gets hit by it, and like you can start figuring stuff out. This is like a hard knockdown.
Thank you, Slayer. Thank you, Slayer.
I can start using this as a hard knockdown because look how they splat down after they get hit. Or it's like, oh, this string right here leaves them in like a state, or maybe I could do like a reset or something. And then like you start getting all these creative ideas in your mind when you start to make those building blocks for your character, whatever character you're gonna start learning. And you know, that's why another reason why some of the best players get really good really fast sometimes is because they've seen like what something looks good, and it might not even be a top tier all the time. Like you just know that this is good right here because you've seen it and you start using it and you're like, you know what, this is actually good. Like, why are people not using it? This is actually good, you know? And that's another reason, like what Michaelangelo was saying, like you shouldn't be a follower. You should actually test to see if something's good or not, because it'll be something that's good, and sometimes in games they might even end up like buffing some shit that was already good. Like it's just because nobody actually took the time to study that character and look at how they truly play, and it's like, oh, you know what, since nobody's playing them, let's buff them up. It's like, oh shit, wait a minute, they were actually already good.
All right.
Well,
they're so fucking broken. Now they're fucking ridiculously broken.
Stop it.
So
Get some help.
Because people were like, oh, this character sucks, or blah, 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 blah. Just play this character. And then it's like somebody takes the time out. They're like, oh, wait a minute. They're actually good.
Yeah, man. I think for them, I think NRS should start listening to themselves, and again, or listen to more of, not a lot of the top players. Because I will say one thing, like, not just listen to every top player, because like even like Dragon, for example, when Dragon was complaining about the jump kicks in MK11, and like to me, I thought they were fine because like you could usually anti-air like a jump punch, but the jump kicks were like, they're tough. But it was like that in MK9. Like if they anti-air you with your jump ins, if you do like a high jump kick, then that would usually stuff it out, unless you're like going against like Smoke standing too, right? But like I felt like that was a wrong call, just to listen to him about that. And like, okay, it was a jump kick, so now when I do a jump kick, now I have to guess, because now it's their advantage, or we're neutral or I'm only +2, but they're still poking me out. And I felt like it just made things a little bit more. It just kept the scrubbiness going, in a way, instead of actually just having to hold the pressure. But that's what I'm a little worried of, is just the over watering down. And for me, not that Dragon's one of the best of all time, but I'm just saying, like, just you don't have to listen to everything that we say and everything that we don't say, is what I'm saying. Because sometimes it could come back to bite us in the ass. That's all. But that's just my call. Bring back EX moves. Bring back some armor. I don't want to hear no one say anything about armor if they're looking forward to playing Street Fighter 6. Because these motherfuckers got 3-hit armors on their drive gauge. Okay? So go fuck yourself. Okay? All the way. All right. Do we have anything to kind of add on top of this, or you guys feel pretty satisfied tonight with the cast, or what?
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied tonight.
He's a satisfied man. That guy right
I'm so satisfied.
He's so
tonight.
fucking satisfied, dude.
So.
What a god. Well, man,
excellent.
Denzel, Malik, man, it was good to have you guys on. We'll probably have to do another one because of the technical difficulties, but I felt like we got to really, get into the mix of things, man. So I was grateful to have you guys here tonight.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. And of course, Michaelangelo, my host with the most, also from the West Coast, putting the butter on the toast.
Yep. Yep.
Butter on that toast, baby.
Butter on that toast, bros.
Oh, always awesome. I felt like this DaddydabKast leveled me up. I think from here on out, like talking to Malik and Denzel, I know I know what to ask now, like just on the next podcast and shit. I think it's gonna be more interesting from here on out. Just like knowing like more just by talking to them. Yeah. I know a little more now, like what to say and shit, and yeah, it's always fun, man. I always love reminiscing with you guys, and fucking you three guys, like in the FGC, dude, I hella love you guys, man. Like I wondered when I first was going into the FGC, like who am I gonna know in fighting games? Like I looked up to Rio and like Tom Brady and stuff, because I would listen to stuff. They were talking about MK versus DC, and it was like the first podcast I listened to. Yeah. And I'm like, what? It was the first professionals I listened to. And I'm like wondering, like, am I going to make friends when I go to these tournaments, or is everyone going to be enemies, obviously, because they're all opponents? Like, and I'm like, you three, it's cool to like, we're still talking to this day. And because I think you guys are really cool, and you guys are, I learned something from each of you guys, and it's just like mind blowing that we're on a podcast, like, just talking about MK and looking forward to the next stuff. And I'm glad we're all still around, because like you guys are some of the coolest motherfuckers.
Dude, we love you too, man. You sexy son of a bitch.
Nobel Prize winning for humans. Nobel Prize winning for humans. Nobel Prize winning for humans. Nobel Prize winning for humans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we love you too, bro. Like, I'm glad to have you guys in my circle, and I learned a lot from all of you guys, and I'm ready to get back out there again, get back out there playing.
Oh yeah.
Traveling, leveling up. I miss you guys, man.
I do. For sure. Can't wait to go back, since 2019, like, and then the shutdown and everything, and we couldn't do the FGC. I realized how much I missed it, and like I always want to be a part of it, and like just talk to people that love MK as much as I do, because it's hard to find that in the real world, kind of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, to wrap, I'm gonna go ahead and end the cast. But yeah, I think the next cast will be pretty fun, guys. For people that are here next week, we're gonna be getting Guamo and EGP. Well, not EGP anymore, but Tyrant, the Jack's God. So we'll have him. We'll have both of them next week. So stay tuned.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, DJT&MIT
right.
and my host Michaelangelo. Thank you guys for fucking being the best of the best.
For sure.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. I'll see you guys later, man. Later, DJT&MIT.
All right, bro.
Later, guys. Later, Mike.
Take care, guys. Yeah, later.
What's up, stream? How you guys doing, man? Slayer, thanks again for the fucking host, the raid. What a fucking god, bro. I kind of want to play some Apex, but I'm also fucking tired as fuck. So yeah, that was a little choppy at first, you know. We had some technical difficulties, but I feel like we got some good messages out there. And yeah, bro, get some sleep, man. Have a good day at work tomorrow. Freaking Gamer Blake, bro. The freaking legend. Are you gonna be playing some MK12 when it comes out, Blake? Yeah, we talked about a lot tonight. The video will be going on YouTube either tomorrow, or I guess you could say today, or the next day, tomorrow. We talked about MK11 mechanics, MK12, X mechanics. We talked about guest characters, the top 10 players right now. We talked about what it takes to win, what it takes to get better, leveling up. Yeah, we have a lot of good stuff in this video, so we'll see how it goes. SF6 looks really fun. But yeah, I want to say thank you to Slayer. Again, one of these weeks we'll probably get Slayer on here, guys. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, woohoo! Let's get a one in the chat, man.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we'll just kind of keep it going. To be honest, we'll keep it going. I think I might just end the chat. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm tired as fuck, dude. Your boy's fucking done, man. Your boy is done. Fuck. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into NSQR 92.5, The Realm, where we keep it smooth while you sit back, relax, and groove. I'm your host with the most on the West Coast. Don't forget to put some butter on the toast, Mr. Radio Dab. Hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you guys later.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. You always make each day such a special day. You know how? By just your being you. Only one person in the whole world like you. That's you yourself. I'll be back next time. Bye-bye. This stream is brought to you by NSQR 92.5 The Realm, where we keep it smooth while you sit back, relax, and groove. Tune in next week to the DaddydabKast MK12 discussion with me and my co-host Michaelangelo. We will be here with Tyrant and Kombat. Hope you guys have a good night, and go fuck yourself.